Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Boot Camp Readathon Truth or Dare. It's time to get real and get to know us. Going to be a good time here. So let's see who we have in the chats here. Hello, Miss Jaleesa. How you doing? Hello,
Hey,
hello,
hey.
hello.
I'm
And
doing
then we
great.
have who's waiting here? We have Miss Chatty. How you doing? I think it's just us. Okay. Well, we're gonna try wait a little bit before we get started. Wait for some people to come into the chats here. So, Chatty, by the way, here is from the UK. Where are you from, Jaleesa?
Texas.
Oh,
I was about to say the city, but I was like, nah, let me stop. Because I overheard the
Jaleesa
Texas.
is from Jaleesa is from Texas, so in warm weather country. I'm in New Jersey right now. We sometime in Iffin acting like we want to be fall/winter, but it's winter. Snow is freezing. Now, Chatty's in the UK, who is used to cold all the time. So she is doing some weird stuff that she is going to explain to us with mermaid and butter. Take it away.
I have to say, I have made the mistake. I've got Vegemite, which is the cheap, poor Marmite, but I can make it work. It's okay. But just so you're all okay, I've got crunchy peanut butter as well. So peanut butter is acceptable, yes?
Wait, so all three are going to go on
No.
Okay.
One piece of toast for the Marmite, one piece of toast for the peanut butter.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not that crazy.
I was like, that's completely something new.
Although I have adopted the peanut butter jelly. That's a yum. But you know, we're on boot camp, so the jam is out.
Yes.
What's peanut butter jelly?
Is that what you call it? Peanut butter jelly?
Oh, jam. You mean peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yeah, it's on toast. I don't have sandwich.
Like you have peanut butter and then you have jelly, right? Two different things.
Yeah. But I just put it on buttered toast.
So you put butter as well with the peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah, listen out.
Calories for no reason.
You need that extra fat, girl. It's a good thing.
Peanut butter.
Like, that's too much.
No, you're not doing it right, Courtney. You need the butter. See, look. This is fresh out. So look at that juicy butter on the dry bread to make it really nice and moist. And then we get that we're going to pretend it's Marmite because it's nicer, but tiny amount, like teeny tiny. Don't be slathering it on. That's not correct.
Wait, let me see. What is tiny to you? Oh, okay.
Tiny.
I thought it was a lot.
Tiny. See, it's just a little taste of the saltiness, like that.
Okay. No, let me just do jelly. That's it. Let me get the calories from the jelly. I'm good. For those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, there was a video that for Kenny, channel Kenny Writes, awesome booktuber. Let's convince her to be around more. But Kenny Writes, we did this exchange where we exchanged a book recommendation as well as snacks. And so she recommended Mermite to me, right? She's from the UK. So I read a book. I hated it. She gave me Mermite. I hated it. Totally horrible. Check out my channel. I have a video about it. I'm like, horrible. Keep in mind, I gave her a book that I enjoyed, as well as something called Spotted Dick, which actually tastes good. It is a pudding type.
What is it?
So I'm convinced Kenny was out to get me, but
I have trust issues after that. I won't trust her ever again.
But Chatty is telling me I was doing it wrong. But it's a Mermaid and Vegemite are like these super salty, dark. It looks like and tastes like gravy, like feet and salt.
I mean, I like gravy, but if it's gritty and salt,
no. Don't listen to her, Jaleesa. It's okay. Yeah, it's nice.
I don't want anything to make my throat.
It's not gritty. It's not. No, it's smooth. It's smooth, and the Vegemite is not. This this is not the best. This was me trying to be cheap. It doesn't work. Marmite is the one you want. It's smoother. It's kind of like a bit drippy. And it's also, it comes with B12, vitamin B. Vitamin B is very good for you. So give you a little something. And it's just, when you mix it with the butter, see, the butter is the key. The butter is the key. It's like the butter is the juicy, nice, and then you have a little bit of salt. Just a little bit.
I don't know. If they have a sample, I'll try it. I don't think I'd buy an entire container. So like that.
I have to come at breakfast. They give you little tiny samples at some like hotel places. I'll have to see if I can collect them, and then I'll just have to start posting them off. Just to
try it, because I'll try things, but I don't know. The saltiness is like, where's I gotta hit out because
it's even better if you put cheese on top. So like, I don't have time for cheese.
Really?
But
what kind of
cheese?
And melt it. Delicious. It's a good time.
Okay, and add some vegetables on top, maybe.
Why would you add vegetables?
To cut the saltiness. I feel like it's very salty. Based on people's facial expression, it seems like it's very salty.
Check out my video. It will
tiny.
Like cinnamon.
Yeah,
I'm good.
It on. It was.
Well, I'm glad you said that it was a health food for far as with boot camp. I guess it would somehow fit into that. However, I would encourage y'all just to go ahead and just take capsule vitamins and call it a day. And then you don't have to worry about what Miss Chatty was talking about.
Just here to educate you culturally.
I Vegemite here because Marmite, I couldn't find that in stores. I actually ordered it off Amazon. That little tiny jar, which looks exactly like what you just had, was $6.
Do you still have it?
I don't know. It may be in the fridge. I don't plan on using it. But I don't know. My husband was like, "Oh, why are you keeping that?" So I might have thrown it away. I can't remember. Okay, y'all. So for boot camp, I love your cup. Look at that.
Thank you.
So what we're gonna do for truth or dare here, y'all. So we have compiled questions. So you have truth and you have dare. So I figure what we could do is each one of us can ask. Since it's just us three, we don't necessarily need signs unless you want one. But we basically, I guess when one of us can ask, hey, do you want a truth and do you want a dare? So if you both choose truth, then you just say the truth. Otherwise, you can do a dare and a truth, and we'll kind of rotate like that. Okay. Sounds good. You want me to start off? One of y'all want to go?
You can start off. I'm gonna get my little sign ready.
Well, you might not need a sign. We'll go on the honor code here, but just don't change your thing. So do you want a truth or do you want a dare? And y'all can do either one. It don't matter. It don't have to be the same.
Truth.
Same here, truth.
Oh, Chatty froze. Does she look frozen to you?
Yes, I think she froze.
Oh, you froze. Chatty's like, let me see if I take her off. I'll do it. No, it didn't work. Oh, I think she must have frozen her in. Darn it. I was thinking it would come out. Okay, well, hopefully she comes back in. Chatty, maybe try getting out and coming back completely in. I think she was saying truth. What did you want, Jaleesa?
Truth.
Truth. Okay, I'm going to go with the first question on the list, okay?
I'm nervous.
If you don't answer the truth, then you have to do a dare, okay?
Okay.
First question. So in erotica, a person always walks in and they wind up joining. So have you ever walked in on anyone?
I hope my sister isn't watching. Yes, my older sister. But at that time, I didn't know what it was. So you like,
How old were you?
Yeah, I maybe was like 6 or 7.
Oh no.
I was like, what is happening? And then it's like the memory came up later in my adult age. Like, wait.
Traumatized.
That happened. Yeah, but yes, I have walked in.
Shanny, you chose truth, right?
I don't know what happened. I think my phone got scared.
Yeah, you froze and it was like blackout.
Did you choose truth or did you choose dare?
Yeah, I chose truth to ease and gently.
Oh, did you hear the question?
No.
Jaleesa's face was golden.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I
I
said,
had to watch it back.
so all of these, well, I'm gonna re-ask you, but all of these questions are related to fitness or something related to books and such. Okay. So the question was, in erotica books, the person always walks in and they wind up joining. So have you ever walked in on someone?
Not fully, but I have had that awkward moment of going out for a walk when staying with your parents, coming back too early and interrupting afternoon delight.
What? Not an afternoon delight. I'm gonna use
I
that.
know, I felt really bad. I think I had a key or something, and basically, like, they came downstairs and it was very clear, and we joked about it. I was like, guys, I'm sorry, I'll just go out again.
Why she keep leaving at the good part?
Her computer doesn't want her to answer these questions.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there she go. We can hear her. Okay. Jaleesa said that she walked in on her sister when she was like 6, but didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know what was
until years
happening.
later. So baby was traumatized. I don't know which is worse. The sisters or the parents. That's too funny.
Wish it didn't happen.
There you go.
Oh, bless you.
Okay, which one do y'all want to go next? How about we just go in like a little circle that we're on here? So how about Jaleesa? We go.
Oh, me? Okay.
I'm gonna choose truth too. We might as well do a round of truth.
I don't have any truths. I just have dares in my phone.
Okay, let's go
I have
there.
2 of them. So I dare you to show us the last funny text message you received.
Ooh, funny. Okay. Well, my cousin just got unintubated in the hospital. That's not funny at all. Oh, here's one. So I have a girl that I stupidly loaned money to, right? So I've been hounding her for my money back, right? And so I messaged her, not a very nice text, basically, where's my money? And she responded back with, I'm just a kid. I'm just a little baby. UWU. What does that mean?
UWU.
Yeah.
Let me type that. Maybe it's like a emoji or something.
Oh, is it
I
like,
don't know.
is it like,
I think she's basically claiming it's not her because she was saying,
UWU.
I don't know who you're talking about or whatever. And I basically called her on it. We won't go into detail about what I said, but she said, I'm just a kid. I'm just a little baby. UWU with some fingers pointing to each other like this.
Like my hands are tied.
I think it's like
whatever. Give me my money. That's all I want.
It's like you weren't a kid when you borrowed the money. So why are you a kid now?
Exactly. Oh, girl, that's the end of the message, which I thought was funny. I stopped responding. So I'm gonna give her another 2 weeks, then I'm gonna start blowing her phone up again. But the messages before that were not very kind. Let's just say.
Right. Now you know better. Don't lend that person money.
What about you, Chatty?
So I just off the top of I don't know if it will all disappear if I start looking because my phone is my camera. So off the top of my head,
change it up. It's okay.
Yeah, you can just do like a general synopsis of what it is.
Yeah, that's fine. So I got a WhatsApp from my husband, and I think it was also just because I was at work and I just was not expecting this. I got our news, the BBC, it said the Pope says that sexual pleasure is a gift from God. So I got that message from my husband. We're Catholic, by the way. I got that message from my husband, and it says underneath, just in case you get excited, he's praying. That just made me laugh.
Must be like, this is going down when you get
I hate those kind of text messages. I'm like, sir, you don't have to try to justify this at all.
That is too funny. Hey, Kiana. Hello. Welcome to the
everyone.
podcast. We've had 2 good questions thus far. Hi, Ulysses. How are you doing? Hello, Shalandria. Hello. Welcome to the day. We're doing truth or dare. Thus far, we've had 2 truths. Okay, your turn, Chatty. What's up? I will do a truth.
Do you want a truth or do you want a dare?
I will do a truth.
Okay. So
hold on. Let's let Jaleesa. What do you
I'll do a dare.
Okay. We want to make sure you got to.
I've got a couple of different ones, but I'm choosing my favorite first. Okay. So it's a little bit of admin to start off with, Courtney. Okay. So can you write down your last 5 books read?
Is that a dare or a truth?
No. It's a truth, but we'll get there.
Okay.
It feels like a dare.
It's long, but it's fun. So your last 5 books read, or 3. You know, it could be 3.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I got 3 written down. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so from the first book, so in each of these books, you need to pick a character. But from the first book, it needs to be a character that you would choose to marry. The second book, a character you would choose to shag. And the third book, a character you would choose to kill. So it's book, shag, marry, kill.
And then, what's his name?
Am I supposed to do it too?
Shag is the one in the middle that I'm having the issue. Oh, I know. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to tell you what they are?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay, so these are the books in the order that I read them. But the first book I wrote down was Lady Killer, which is the book that I just this is the second volume, but I just finished on the other sprint this one. So so in here, the lady who kills folks, her husband is pretty cool and hot. So I'm gonna marry him. In Blood Debts, here, which I finished yesterday, I think. There's Papa Eshu, which is the god. He seems pretty cool and hot, and he's a god. Dang, you know.
He's a god. Well, there we go.
And then I read Animal Farm today, and Napoleon, the head pig, is an asshole. So I'm gonna So there you go. That was a good one. I like that.
I'm so pleased that Animal Farm was not your second choice of book, because you'd have to choose one.
I remember reading that in school and I hated it, but today I was like, oh, and I did an audio with it because I couldn't get it was like a 18-week wait or something for some reason on the regular book. But it was a full cast audio. I've never had a full cast audio. And it goes quicker too, because they're not doing that. Well, he said this, he said that. It's like a
radio
audio. So it's like an hour. It was good. I was like, dang, this is awesome. So if you ever see a full cast book, definitely get it.
That sounds awesome. I do like Animal Farm. I did it for my English GCSE. At the same time, we were doing the Cold War in history, and at the same time, the school play was Animal Farm. So I felt like I got a very good grounding of that book.
Yeah, I talked to my husband about Animal Farm, and he was like, I never heard of that book. I'm like, you never heard of George Orwell? Like most people, that's like required reading in some fashion or another. But
yeah.
Oh well. At least he says sounds like a dare.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, where are we going?
It's fine.
If y'all are in the chat, if y'all want to throw out a truth or a dare, go ahead and type it in too. Okay, so Jaleesa chose dare, Chatty. So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put. I've got my dares, so I'm still not prepared because I was too busy making toast. I'm cutting up my dares, and I'll put them in the cup, and I'll draw one out. So we'll see what you get, Jaleesa.
Okay.
And I wrote these a couple of days ago whilst I had a free slot at work.
I tried to do that today, but for whatever reason, it's just like everybody wanted to talk to me. So
I just wrote stuff on a legal pad.
Okay. So I've got this one. It says unhaul a book.
Unhaul a book?
Look at Jaleesa's face.
Ma'am.
Jaleesa's like, that's too rich for my blood.
Right. I don't unhaul books. But hey,
what do you like metaphorically unhaul a book?
How about a book that is worthy of unhauling?
My books are packed up, or because we don't have a bookshelf in this apartment that we're in. But if I were to unhaul a book, let me find it. It's a book that I read. I think it's something about a diner. I didn't like it. It was like one of those 1990s comedy, humor, fiction, and I was just annoyed I finished it. But I was just annoyed the entire book.
Oh, you talking about the I'm Not Supposed to Die or something?
Oh, no, I like that one.
Oh,
no,
okay.
The book I'm talking about, it was something about some diner. Like they were inside of a diner and these monsters came, they were fighting. It's an old book. I don't need to find it because if I had my books out of the box now, it's going straight to whoever it needs to go to.
There we go. That counts. That's good.
Monster Diner.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it. When I find it, I'll show you all.
She's reading Interview with the Vampire, so she's going to F. Lestat. I concur. Mary Louise and Kill Claudia. There you go, all in one book. Okay, I agree with all of that. Okay, let me see a question. I have like 10 and 10, so I'm gonna just randomly. Oh, hold up. Okay, what do y'all want, a truth or a dare?
I'll go for a dare this time.
What about you, Jaleesa?
I'll do a truth. Because that kind of hurt. That dare right there. I was like,
Okay, I have things numbers, so I'll say, Chatty, give me a number between 1 and 9. 8. 8 is okay. Here's your dare, Chatty. Rap about books or reading. Like make up a little simple rap.
Okay. Rap about books and reading. I'm just gonna be really corny. Okay. Can you give me a beat? Do I have to make the beat myself?
If you want, I'm a horror.
I don't. It's me trying to rap. Books. Read more books. Books are good. Read more books. Don't know what can rhyme with books. Books and looks. Books and shook. That's not a word. Read some books. I like books. You like books. This is really hard. It's 1 a.m., but I'm keeping going. Courtney, yeah. That was good. That was a terrible rap.
Yay! Now you can shop your mixtape.
Right. Add some effects in there.
We're gonna make it big. You don't need BookTube, girl.
I'll stick to reading. I don't think rapping is my bag.
That was a good one. Okay, Jaleesa, you give me a number between 1 and oh no, actually one's already taken. Give me a number between 2 and 10.
7.
7. Okay, your truth is, would you give up reading for the perfect beach body no matter what you eat?
No.
No.
Because I don't know. Like I feel like being like pretty and then like, you know, gorgeous or whatever you want to call it, it comes with a lot of issues. Like people following you, people talking to you all the time.
They talking to you now already.
They do, but like you know, it's like I want to be able to enter a room and nobody look at me. I just want to be like invisible. I don't. Yeah. I want to read. You
can always put a mask on. Claim I got COVID.
Yeah, no.
Perfect beach body.
No, I'm okay.
Perfect for who? Okay, so Jaleesa definitely would not go for it. I don't know. That's a hard one.
No.
What is that? Is that a shoe? I don't know. That's somebody dancing. Oh, dancing. Yeah, don't want to see me dancing. Hey, Storm. Jaleesa says the book I went on haul is Girls All Fright Dinner.
Yeah, Gil's all fright.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So you said they're at a diner, they're eating, and then some monster comes and starts killing people.
That's going to ruin
your dinner. On top of that, they kept saying somebody's fat here, somebody's ugly here. Like, why we gotta always say somebody's fat and ugly?
What?
There's other ways to say that somebody is fat and other ways to say that somebody's ugly without saying fat and ugly.
Is that a debut novel? They're just saying it like that?
It's old. Let me see when it came out.
90s.
Is it gory?
No, it was goofy. 2005. The Lies I Tell. I thought it was 1990s. Either read like the 1990s. So yeah, 2005 is when it came out. It's an urban fantasy novel.
Huh. Urban. Oh, I guess with the monsters. Would that be considered horror? Like, I feel like there's a lot of interlap between like horror and fantasy sometimes. Like shapeshifters, right? Okay, you have the dragons, shapeshifter, romance, erotica. Well, wouldn't that be fantasy with the dragons and shapeshifter too? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Lissy. I'll stay chunky. I still think the whole idea of you don't want anybody looking at you, truthfully, I don't even think it matters what you really look like. You can be super ugly or super pretty, Also, I think that the feeling of those or the thought of those is based off of perception, because everybody thinks something different, like I mean, I'm not the best looking cookie out there, but my husband thinks I'm cute, so that's okay.
Right. So. I don't get that. I'm like, what do you see in me, hubby? I don't
say that. We all have something to offer. I have my good days and my bad days, and I'll be like, dang,
I didn't think I was gonna get married. I thought I was gonna be alone with 2 dogs and that's it. Because I don't be looking. I don't know if you all know this. I'm ace, so I don't feel what everybody's feeling when it comes to like attraction and stuff. Like if you're a guy, you're just my friend. If you're a girl, you're just my friend. I'm not looking to see whether or not we can hook up. And I'm not
always looking to hook up though. So keep that in mind. It's because you are not trying to hook up, don't mean you're there.
Right, exactly. So yeah.
Oh, that's lovely though.
Stay in my corner.
So you're ace but not arrow. Is that the right terminology?
Oh, I've never heard of that. Ace but not arrow. I've heard of ace. I didn't hear arrow. Okay. Well, we all have our things. You'd be surprised who's looking and stuff, though. I feel like sometimes spouses come out of nowhere. And I actually think it's a good thing when you're not really looking and somebody falls into your lap. As long as they're legit. Like, I don't just need anybody. I need you to be legit and honesty and cool, Like, I met my husband and we were hanging out with friends, and apparently he told my friends that he was going to marry me and he loved me before he even told me. And I'm like, y'all lying. We've been drinking, I'm like, really? So I didn't believe that. I didn't really
blaming the alcohol.
Because all of that stuff comes up when we've been drinking. And I'm like, It's like, okay, we need to stop drinking.
I've just finished Queenie by Candice Carty Williams. That book was so good, but like basically wanted to punch pretty much all the men in that book because she went through some utter shitheads.
I don't have the patience. I don't.
This is Mama.
Oh, hey, Mama. I'm looking like, wait, is that my mama? That's my mama. Relax and enjoy.
Welcome to the chat, Mom. We're gonna try not to tell too many embarrassing stories.
It's okay. I'm her middle child, and I feel like at this point she's not surprised by anything I say.
My mama's supposed to be. I sent her the link. Is she on? I don't know, but I gave her the information. She said she wanted to come. And Jaleesa, I agree with this statement. You should too, no matter what. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I am done with my chaos. It's up to you, Miss Jaleesa. Your turn.
I got one more, so remember I only had a couple.
We're gonna make up for it for you.
I'm gonna put it inside the chat. Both of you all can try it. It's a dare, sort of, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I like tongue twisters. I don't know about you all, so I want you to try this tongue twister here.
Do you have a tongue twister?
Mm-hmm. And say it 5 times fast.
Okay, so I need to open the chat. Hold on.
Okay, truth or dare works is we're asking each other's questions. Like we're giving each other the option of truth or dare, and then we do one versus the other. But you in the chats can go ahead and type up something, a truth or a dare you want us to do.
How do I get back? I don't know how to get. Oh, there.
Okay.
Okay. I can't. Have you written something?
Yeah. She's gonna select the comment, and then you'll be able to see it.
Oh, there we go.
Without having to change your phone.
What in the world?
Okay, thank you. Yes, I need that. Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah. Okay. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer.
You did really well.
I'll try after Courtney go. I feel like my gap is gonna get in the way. So
I slur words anyway, just regular talking. So I already know I mess up. You did well though. You didn't even seem like you got tripped up. Let me go. Okay. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer. Is that fine?
I think it was fine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was good until the biscuit mixer is what.
Yeah. A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mix. A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mix. Yeah, I can't. that mixer at the end is tripping me up. But it's crazy because I can do Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, a peck of pickled peppers, Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's a peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? I can do that one. But I can't do this box of biscuits and a biscuit mixer.
Okay, it's a dare. You got to keep at it. You got to keep doing it 5 times.
Okay, a box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer. Mixer. A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit. A box. I swear, you all I'm drinking is water. A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer. A box of mixed biscuits. Lord, why? A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer. I butchered it every single time, but I did it 5 times.
But now I want some biscuits. So is that bad?
It's so much better than my rap, so it's good.
Y'all at home, go ahead and do this too. Say it out loud to yourself and see if y'all can do it. Hey Mo, how you doing?
Oh, that was.
I'm horrible with those tongue twisters because it's just I slur already. I'm so I don't even
Same here.
Oh man. Okay, Chatty, what you got for us? I'm gonna choose a dare.
I'm gonna choose a dare. I put on hold back in here for you, Courtney, so it could come up again.
Somebody come take that away.
Oh, it's not it. It's not it. So okay. Show us a book you'd. Okay, so this was a nice one. It's not really a dare, I suppose. Oh no, it's a mixture of both. Okay, show us a book you'd show like your boss, head teacher, your grandpa, or your mother-in-law, and show us one that you wouldn't show them. So like something that's like you feel like proud of, and someone that you feel it feels like a little bit of a this is not a book for everyone.
Oh, that's hard.
I don't know. I have a whole lot of books. A book's not for something. You said something I wouldn't show, like my mom or boss or somebody.
Yeah, and one you would.
Oh, one I would. Oh,
Okay, one I wouldn't is called The Prada Plan. I've read all of the books in The Prada Plan. I'm gonna show you the front of the cover.
Prada Plan.
I enjoyed it. Take it back. I have another one.
Oh, okay.
Long story short, my younger sister used to work at a prison. She is a therapist, and I don't know what happened. She had to use one of her coworkers' computer. I hope she's not in the chat. If she is, shout out. She had to use another coworker's computer, and she saw a file that said "thong on fire." And so,
Okay, I'm here for
she opened it, and she said, "Jaleesa," she said, "before I knew it, I started reading the book, and I couldn't stop."
Was it erotica? Oh my god! Okay.
And we buddy read it together.
Did they both enjoy it?
It was good. I mean, it's like one of those books they used to write back in the day when they used to have 106 in Park on BET. Like, that's to give you that kind of. I think I still have it on my phone.
That's good time.
So that's the one I wouldn't share with anybody. But the one that I would share with everyone, that's like the one book that I always suggest to anybody that hasn't read in a long time, is The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn, the same lady who wrote Gone Girl. Yes, I always suggest that book. It's short, straight to the point. I read it 3 times. I read it maybe like every single year. So
wow, that is high praise. That is high praise for a book.
The Grown Up.
The Grown Up. What is that about?
So is it like a thriller?
That's the thing. It's weird. It's almost like a horror / thriller / slice of life.
Mixed bag.
Just to set it up, the lady has to get a job to make money. What she does is, I don't want to get you demonetized. Are you monetized?
No.
What she has to do, she works in, if I remember correctly, she works inside of a room that's like closed up. And what men do is she gives hand jobs all day. The men, but you can't see the men. All you just see is their member. And she's starting to get like carpal tunnel or something in her wrist.
She must have.
Yeah, just all day long. So
this is in The Grown Up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm reading this book.
And I'm trying to remember what happened that made her she had to get another job. I forgot what it was, but she had to watch these kids or something. And one of the kids is really strange. And it just goes from there. So yeah, try The Grown Up, y'all. If you haven't read it yet, you can read it in like one sitting. I have a cousin who read it in 3 hours. So
you're seeing Libby have The Grown Up. That is wow.
I mean, it's already like the horror aspect of having to sit in a room and just have random penises
all day long. I'm like, girl. And then the thing is, I think she was like the most popular person. So imagine her wrist was tired. I'm like tired. She was like, I can't do this my entire life. I gotta find something new.
Done.
And that was the reason.
Right now.
So try that.
Oh, what? Let's see if that. This is too funny. Man, not only does Libby have the regular book, it has an audio book. I'm putting both of those in my cart.
Please do. And then come back and report to us and let us know how you found it, because I didn't know where it was going. I don't read the synopsis of books before I read them. I just go in blind. So my eyes were getting big. It's like, what?
I wish you wear gloves, but that's okay. I mean, that might actually be. No, let's. She don't have to see the people, so at least you're not like, oh.
Right. There's no attachment or anything like that. So.
Yeah. So I mean, if you go, that's better than what some other folks do for money.
Right.
Switch hands, girl. I mean, the rest of us you're editing. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so I don't know what I would not like. Okay, my mom, I'm pretty open with some of the craziness. She actually is more into books that are inappropriate more than I am. So
with you.
exactly. I'm like, Mama, stop. How many of those books you got to read? So I don't know. I mean, boss, I may have an issue, but I mean, hell, I'd probably go out of my way to try to shock my boss. So I don't know. But you have like Passionati Parcel is one that's just really kind of out there. Brittany loves reading. Awesome booktuber talks a lot about this book called The Were Turkey. I might want to take a look at that one.
Turkey.
And a book that I would recommend, the 5th season. I say this even though I am like not like in love with this book. It was just so interesting, and just to read the trilogy, I'm just curious what people really would think about this, even though it's not all, I just think it was written really well. It's just not my whole thing with the earth magic thing, but still pretty good.
I'm building up to the 5th season, so I think I've just got this slight fear of, I really, this is the year I will read an N.K. Jemisin, but I want to start with, I don't know why, I think I watched a few videos about where to start with N.K. Jemisin, and I want to start with 100,000 Kingdoms. So I have that one. So if I get on with that, I will then move on to the 5th season. But I'm feeling apprehensive.
Why?
Because like I think it's in my head, like I really want to like them. And I hear like it's mixed. I think you're either like for, or you're like, I don't get it. And I think I'm a bit scared that it's complex.
Yes, I agree with that. And I'm one of those people that are kind of in between when it comes to liking it or hating it, but loving it. Like I get it, but I'm just not like loving and invested. But I wanted to finish that trilogy. Now I did, and I started with that, but I did read 100,000 Kingdoms, the first 2 books. I'm not into like gods and mythology and stuff. So while I thought it was interesting, just not enough to me to continue to force myself, kind of like I did with that. So I feel like I got a taste of N.K. Jemisin. So I will recommend her for people that like fantasy, but I'm what's that action? Ooh, this type. And slow burn with those. I recognize the awesome writing and the talent in that.
Right.
Almost, I feel like her writing is almost, it sounds weird, especially with this one. I feel like it's almost biblical the way it's presented. And
it is,
beginning like this novel's gonna knock my socks off and it's important, that type thing.
Yeah.
But definitely worth reading though.
Yes, just take your time. Don't feel pressured. I think people overhyped it a little bit. Like it's good. It's one of my favorite books. But if you don't really care for like world building and stuff, I say skip it because it's a lot of world building.
I love world building, so that will be great. Well, I'm here for deities. I love all of that stuff. So I'm a Percy Jackson fan with all your gods and goddesses and throughout. So that sounds cool.
And the world building there definitely is there. It's a great, but I do think one thing, because I'm not into intricate world building to where I can't understand it. Granted, that is more like I'm a minimalist when it comes to books. Tell me just enough to get me in there, and then let's go to the plot. This one does a whole lot of world building like throughout. I do think that if you just stick with it, it's understandable. Like I can kind of visualize those type things, and that's really good. But just a little bit too much for me, but I was able to understand it. So that's what's good. I think she does a good job of not it being like not too over the top to where you're like, what the hell is she saying? But everybody's different, because I have talking to people that are like, I don't understand a word, but I'm patient. Be patient. Nicole says, hi, Courtney and Jaleesa. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. This is Miss Patty. Oh, speaking of, by the way, I'm going to put at the end of all of this, I'm going to put my lovely co-host in the little description box. But make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Take a look at their content. I think, are your names on the screen? Can y'all see it?
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, there you go. Chatty is Chatty the Mad Chatter, okay? But I'll put them in the description box later. Grown up, okay, so Emma read it. Okay. I'm
It's
for
good.
it. It's in my cart, y'all. It's in my cart. I'm reading these graphic novels today, and I am reading The Grown Up tomorrow.
He's in. I'm excited to know if your audiobook is one of those audiobooks that has like sound effects for certain things, because some audiobooks have like sounds. That could be interesting.
Yeah, just the premise that you told me alone. I'm like, yeah, definitely. Since there's an audio, it's an hour. I'm definitely going to probably take advantage of that. Hold up, I went back.
There was
I
a
did
dare.
want you to call your mom and read a smut scene to her. I don't think we have enough time with that one right now.
I was like, let me take my
I
mom
like
and
that,
take
but
okay.
I'm not calling my mum at what time am I on? I don't know what time I'm on. I can't see the time on my phone. But it's not going to be a good time to call mum.
Yeah, I think maybe another time on that one. But my mom will probably read one to me, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. Alicia says, I don't want to ever hear any morning glory milking farm slander out of the ground. That is too funny. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Could you imagine going for a job interview? Like, for one, what does the job description say? But then,
how strong are your wrists?
Huh?
How strong are your wrists?
Yeah.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah,
what
a long time.
So this is off topic, right? We have definitely derailed, but I was watching a YouTube video yesterday, right? I don't know how this came into my feed, the algorithm. And it was a lady the cops were approaching a lady. It was like at a beach bar or something. And they went basically to question her, and they ultimately arrested her for pleasuring herself on the beach. Apparently a mom and her 2 kids saw her and reported her. First she denied it, but then she was like, I don't know what the big deal is. It's been a stressful day, and I was just sitting here minding my own business, and she brought her own little vibrator with her. I'm like, who brings a vibrator to the beach?
What? I mean,
she was like, I don't know what the big deal is.
Time and a place.
Yeah,
she's like, I was minding my business.
Yeah,
minding your business in public. There's other places you can go and do that.
Yeah, and they were like, can we look in your bag? I was like, do you have gloves?
I know, right? Oof.
And she was going to deny. She denied it until they asked to look in her bag, and then she was like, "Oh, I don't know the big deal. It's been a stressful day."
Why lie when you have cameras and other people have seen you? What are you getting from this? Just tell the truth.
I don't get it. Go back to your room. Okay, let's back to this one. Solandra says, "No, the ladies. Yeah, we tried to do the tongue twister. Yes, Chatty did it very well." Solandra says she couldn't either. Chatty figured out my unspoken word during
Yeah. The clues of the pandemic. Can I say that on here? Do you think we're going to get hounded out?
Yeah, I don't get that. This is crazy.
That's going to be my new dare. Say pandemic 3 times.
There we go. Hey, facts. Sounds say, yeah, I don't get it. She was like, I was by myself, but I'm like, they saw you though.
I mean, I'm hoping there's a towel, and
something.
Yeah.
But she had a stressful day. Remember, when you stressed, I guess you don't be thinking. So, yeah.
I guess the vacation wasn't enough. Okay, where do we leave off? Was it me or Chatty? Who was it?
It's one of you because I have nothing else.
Oh, okay. Chatty and Chatty.
Oh no, it was me. It was the dare. It was the dare show a book you'd show.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't show. Yeah, so it was me.
Okay, so y'all want truth or y'all want dares?
What did I have last time? Did I have dare? I had dare last time. Truth.
Okay, give me you want dare? Okay, give me a number, Chatty, 1 through 10 or 2 through 10.
2.
Huh?
2.
Okay, you got truth, right? Okay. Yeah. So, have you ever faked reading a buddy or a group read?
That is a really cool question.
Tell the truth.
know. I'm trying to think because it's boring just to say no. So I'm now racking my brain. Have I ever done that, even if it was like at school or anything?
Well, if you don't have one, I can tell you a story about when I did, and I was embarrassed. Okay.
I want to hear the story. No, I think I've always read because I like sharing my opinion too much, I think. But I like at school, like I did Animal Farm, and that book was absolutely underscored and notes and destroyed my annotations. And I got an A. I was very proud, very proud. My brother did not finish To Kill a Mockingbird.
I got that right here. I'm going to read it next month.
Was from the beginning of the book that he had read. Bastard got an A as well.
Doesn't that piss you off?
Brother. Yeah. So he failed GCSE.
Like, did he use Spark Notes or something?
Huh? No. He just got lucky. He went in having not finished the book, but hoping that would still be okay. And amazingly, it was, because the question was about something that happened in the beginning of the book.
Yeah, you got lucky.
That is funny. What about you, Jaleesa? You said you had a story.
It's always something with me. I guess I thought it was cute. I was in my English class. I think it was my senior year. And, at that point, you just burnt out. I had already gotten to the school that I wanted to go to. So I wasn't reading anything that was assigned after that. And I think we had to read, what was it, The Scarlet Letter or something? And my teacher wanted to make it really, I only read the first chapter, so I didn't know what was going on. At that time, I think we had to be at chapter 13. And she wanted to do an activity where we had to pretend like we were in a court. And I was supposed to be the lady with the Scarlet Letter, but I didn't know why I had the Scarlet Letter because, remember, I didn't read the book. So I'm sitting there, and it's all on camera, y'all. They had the recording, and the one girl that did read the book, she was a lawyer, and she was questioning me on stand. I'm pretty sure my face was turning red because she was like, well, do you know whether or not you deserve that Scarlet Letter A? Were you with who's the person that she was with? I don't know, the pastor or whatever. Yeah. Were you with him? And I was mumbling. I was like, I don't know if I was with him or not.
You're like, yeah, I deserve that A.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, sure. Mm-hmm. And then my friend actually was like, Jaleesa, are you okay? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, that girl clowned you. But yeah, she was being kind of mean. The teacher apologized on her behalf. She was like, Jaleesa, I know that was a lot. It was brutal. So yeah, I learned my lesson. Next time,
into character.
The Cliff Notes or the Spark Notes. That's all I had to do.
Mm-hmm. I remember Blazing Saddles. You know that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was supposed to read a book about like Westerns, but I don't like Westerns, and I didn't have any books, and I didn't buy them. This is when I was in school. So I had seen the movie Blazing Saddles. So I wrote an essay on it, and the teacher, I got an F on that one. They were like,
No.
Yeah, that's too much of a SWAT not to read stuff. Like I was.
Yeah, generally I'm the reader, so I definitely read. But yeah, I enjoyed the Scarlet Letter. It was a good one.
Maybe about now I could, but at that age, I did not care about that Scarlet Letter. I did it.
Delicious it is.
We had a bit of a juicy one at A level, so I cannot remember the name of the book at all. But we were like 17, 18, and we read this book that was kind of about it was about kind of like exploring faith. There was an island where they were very like Christian. There was like a monastery. There was a Spanish Inquisition that was kind of coming. They'd had an atheist land on their beach, and the Spanish and basically like he was kind of held in the monastery. And there was other stuff kind of going on, but there was a chapter where he ends up like having a threesome with his someone who came in to kind of like look after him and her boyfriend, and like basically teaches them how to have sex, like with enjoyment for everyone. So this whole chapter was just about this threesome, and it was chapter 22. I remember the name of the chapter, and we were told to read a certain part at home, and it was that one. And we briefly discussed it in class, but there was one girl and she just loved every opportunity of trying to bring it up. And she was just like, made sure every single one of her essays included chapter 22. Yeah.
In reference to chapter 22.
Chapter 22. Where they used oil and honey.
Oh, so that, okay. So back to the other question about a book that I wouldn't want to show like my boss. The priest. I would say that one is one I wouldn't. Now my mom, yeah, we could talk about it, but my boss, no. That's what.
Well,
okay,
I feel I should know that one, but I don't. Please explain.
Priest.
Oh, the Priest series by Sierra Simone. It's like a smutty religious type book. Like the guy's a priest and he's doing it at the altar and he's using oils. And
at the altar. Woof.
Oh, y'all missed it in the summer. Oh my God. Yeah, we had a whole mini readathon for the whole series.
I didn't know what I was doing my summer.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I have a video on my channel where I go over all 3 of the books. If you want to take a look.
Just start going through your backlog of stuff.
It was pretty good. The way I did my actual video, not the discussion. We did a live discussion, but I did a video where I kind of hit just major highlights of it, but I structured it kind of like a Zoom meeting. For it. It was awesome.
Cool. I'm gonna hunt for it.
Yeah, it was from I think like June or July is when we read that, but really good though.
I'm not find
it. Okay, so dare Jaleesa, pick a number 1 through 9. Don't pick 8.
7. Oh, don't pick 8. Okay.
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
I'm nervous. Okay.
Do a twerking ab workout.
A twerking ab workout. What was that? What did that look like? Like I have a box on the back of my butt trying to shake it out.
However you want to do it. You're working your abs, but kind of doing like a twerking.
I take y'all to the other room so you can see me real good.
I love the dedication.
Turn this light on over here.
Jaleesa gonna work it out for us, y'all.
Thank goodness my husband is asleep, because if he walked in seeing me, like, what are we doing? Nothing, sir.
That's gonna be like, that's the end of sprints for you. Like, come on here, girl.
Can y'all see me?
Yeah.
We are ready.
The app.
Yeah.
Go Jaleesa. Go Jaleesa. Go Jaleesa. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. You feel them abs working? You feel them?
Yes. The lower abs especially.
There we go. There we go. We got some fitness in the mix. Oh, buddy. Okay. Okay. If you think of any more, Jaleesa, I know you said you didn't have any more, but if you think of any more, feel free to interject. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Channy, you're up.
Yeah. Are there any more in the chat? I know there are a few coming in.
Hope you're doing good. Listen.
I mean, I don't mind calling my mama and reading a
smiling thing.
Reading something. Like, take me off this phone.
I want to know what murder with chicken and waffles is. Is that she's reading murder and eating chicken and waffles, or is the title Murder with Chicken and Waffles?
Wait, hold. Murder with Chicken and Waffles. That book. There was a there was a book where it was an what am I trying to say? There was a book that people were having some controversy around. It was written by a white author, but they were talking about the girl was greasing her hair with bacon grease. Is that one?
No, but I think that was written by a white author. But the what do you call it? The name is still like a black name.
Yeah, okay, that's that one. Okay, yes, yeah, yeah. Definitely not going to be reading that one, y'all. Oh,
And it's a
I
whole series too.
you said it again?
It's a whole series.
Yeah, I'm not. I try not to be particular, but I feel like I've come across things in the book community recently that I see why people have issues with certain books about certain things. Like, okay, like to me, to each his own. I just feel like Black authors, not to get too much into it, have a harder time getting published already anyway. I mean, it's not everybody, but overall, if you look statistically, there's not, you have a hard time getting published, right? So
Yeah.
I don't like when you have authors that in general, and it's not every white author has a plethora of opportunities. So I'm not saying that, but I don't like to sell books that authors, like some white authors, kind of appeal to a Black audience to sell a book and make it seem like it's by a Black author. So each is on and how you want to write your characters, but I just have issue. Like the other day, somebody was doing Sprint, right? And it was a white person doing Sprint, and she had put on there a book that she was reading, and it was a Black girl on the cover. And I didn't get to see myself on book covers at all growing up. And so as an adult in the last few years, to me, you see a Black person on the cover, I'm like, oh, what's that about? Because I don't come across those books very often.
Mhm.
And so I looked it up, and because I was like, oh, she's reading diversely, that's cool, right? And I looked it up, and it was a white author. And I'm like, okay, so of her series, she put, I think was it the first or the second book? The Black girl on the cover, but it wasn't on any of the other books. And none of her other books had any. So I was just like, I just felt some type of way, I guess.
Mhm.
About just to sell books. And then recently, and I'll talk about this in my wrap up, I read a book. It was a short book by a Black author, and there was some blatant racism. It was like a black female white guy author, so BWWM, Black female white man, romance. And there was blatant racism and sexism of the guy towards the girl, like soon as they met. But she was all like, oh, I'm getting hot and stuff. And there was like nothing in the book about her. Like she was Black and they said she was Black, but there's nothing. Like I'm about a realism, like about being Black. It's a lot about you. Like it comes out in how you interact with people and stuff. And there was nothing about her. So that related to that. So I'm just like, something's just not right about this. Like I'm not getting hot pants for somebody that approaches me talking about you, that Black girl. Oh, we are not eating that up that easily. And the sexism aspect too.
Do you remember where they said
selling it to me?
Say that again.
Who's gonna go?
Yeah, it kind of
anything interesting. It's fun.
Oh wait, no, I was just asking where was the character from? Because maybe that's why they were acting a certain way if they're from a different part of the country.
Well, this was New York.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, well, it's just weird. Like he comes up and he's like wanting to buy, like she's with her, she owns a construction company, Black female boss. She talking about, like the first sentence of the book talks about how it's hard to be respected as a female and as a Black female in this corporate environment when it comes to construction and stuff, right? Construction company, right? Mm-hmm. And she got these big contracts. So she's with her white foreman and they're talking, right? This white dude comes up. She's already talking about how he looks kind of like a smug person or whatever and is not super attractive or whatever. And then he goes to the white foreman and he starts talking to him and he's like, oh yeah, I heard you started this company with that Black female, but I want to buy it. And the white foreman keeps trying to refer to her, but the white dude keeps cutting her off.
Oh.
Like, oh no, whatever. And then, eventually he gets to a point to where he's like, the white foreman's like, stop. Well, actually, she says, stop. This is my company. And then he immediately turns to her and starts putting on his charm, like, hey, babe. And she just eating that up. I'm like, oh, we're not eating this up.
What are you gonna? Yeah, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's like he was ignoring you not too long ago. Now all of a sudden you want to be in his face.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, but so I immediately was like, I thought this was by a Black author. So I looked it up because I immediately was like, something not right.
Right.
I understand short books kind of gloss over certain things to a certain extent to move plots along, but I'm just like, who wrote this? Like, you never read a book and you're like, who wrote this with certain things in it? Like the bacon grease. Like, y'all have been hearing the controversy about this author, right? You haven't heard it yet?
I've obviously just been dwelling in a different part of BookTube. It's fine.
It's some controversy. It's like an author inside there saying that the lady's greasing her scalp with bacon grease. That is not what Black people do, believe you me. But when you read things like that, you immediately go to the back of the cover. You'll be like, you're reading, you're like,
what they look like.
That's what I do. I'm like, hold up, who's the back?
Right.
It's not authentic.
Recent things, I'm telling you, recent things have caused me to immediately go to the back cover of a book. I ain't gonna lie, lately. And especially Black History Month coming up. So next month I'm striving to read books by my
around that too.
So, but I'm just like, I'll be questioning some stuff.
The construction worker romance. Who was that by? Did you find out who they were?
It was a Black female.
Oh dear.
That's why I say it's weird.
And then everything in the book, like, okay, there was nothing, like it was supposed to be a BWWM, Black woman, white man. So you would think that would be something regarding race in there. Like it's not a book about Black trauma, racism. It's not that. It's a little whatever. But it should be something more than just saying, oh, I'm a Black female. You know, and it's hard for me to get in construction, and then you just move on. But there was nothing about that whatsoever in the book. So I'm like,
what was the purpose of this?
Yeah.
If you want to be with somebody that's a different race, even like culturally, I'll give an example for myself. I'm African American. My husband is Nigerian. He's from Nigeria. We have to have discussions sometimes about what is acceptable in his culture and what is acceptable in mine. Silly stuff would be like, Abby, I'll say, you're talking too loud. Something like that. Or when it comes to him having friends come over, we don't have anybody come over, even though if he were married to a Nigerian woman, it would be fine. So we have to like talk about that kind of stuff. But if you're a Black woman with a white man, eventually race is going to come up because you're going to be treated differently, even though you're with him.
And it never came up. And even at one point, it never came up. And even at one point, where am I playing? And even one point in the book, he talked about, like specifically said he couldn't wait to get between those thick Black thighs.
Oh Lord.
Like, what?
The thick Black thighs. Did you say chocolate in there anywhere? Chocolate, African goddess.
I feel that she needs to be sent Queenie and maybe like some other things.
Yeah. Maybe to read more or experience.
And then she went into the shower, right? And took a shower. And then he comes in. When she comes out the shower, they immediately get into bed and go do whatever. And I'm like, hold up. We don't do that. Like most of the time we don't wash our hair in the shower, and if we do, it might be part of the end process, but there's some detangling, there's some hair washing or drying or something.
It could be a couple hours.
Yeah, and she didn't have braids. Did she have braids? No. There's a certain amount of hair care that goes into Black women. I don't know a single Black woman, even those that don't really take care of their hair that well, do not wash it in the shower, then immediately go to bed with it wet. That's a no-go.
Tangle City.
Yeah. And I even have a question mark. She washed her hair and went to her bed. Is this author white? Question mark. This is in my reading journal. I wrote that. And then I have a question. I put the answer. She is Black. And then he made her dinner, y'all. This should be a group read right here. He invited her over to dinner. Now, mind you, this is a rich white dude, right? Like filthy rich, right? He invites her to dinner and made her dinner, and he served her mac and cheese, green beans, and baked chicken.
Not the church plate. He could have given her something else. Like, why won't you give me one of those petite, plates where it looks like it costs $100 or something?
I was expecting some sort of, like salmon or steak or something like that.
Or don't take it to your house.
But the mac and cheese and the green bean, I was just like,
romantic food.
I'm surprised it wasn't fried chicken. Like I was just
and she didn't ask him, like, why did you serve me this?
She was just like, oh, it's good. I was like, girl, please. What did
I think the standards dropped. I don't know what happened. Like, it sounds like she had standards and then suddenly they just went. Like, where is it?
That's it. It's like, he treats me any kind of way. He got money.
This is my year of the quarter stores, because generally I do like, Storygraph, you can do like a quarter store. Yeah. Normally I would do like a, like a full number, or I might do a half. But girl, after that book, I started doing the quarters. That was my...
I am looking forward to your review of this book.
I did a quick review. I'm telling you more than what I would go, but those points are in there. But
I'll be like, yeah. There's my key. Hello. Yeah.
Kiana says immediately no. Sinner, she had her bonnet. Oh my God. Yep. This girl, no bonnet, just going to bed, hair all over the place. The church boy.
White person.
Anytime you got a plate with like a slice of bread, some chicken, green beans, and maybe potato salad, it's a church plate.
That is true. That is true. Knowing they shouldn't be serving a potato salad, but that's another story.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to some more of this so we can get out of here. I'm having so much fun.
What's the bonnet?
I have one. You want to see mine? Let me go get it.
It's protection. Like when we go to bed, in order to preserve our style and stuff, we put you can do a bonnet, or you can do like a headscarf, like a wrap. Yeah. So a bonnet is in place of that. So, friction doesn't, don't get split ends and stuff. So yeah, I like a good bonnet. I always went to bed with a headscarf growing up, but now I do a bonnet. But you're not going to catch me on the internet with it.
Janita is taking one for the team. She's bringing the bonnet. I'm very excited.
I got two of them. So I got a nice one that was handmade.
Oh.
So this one.
I like that.
Oh, that is pretty.
And the inside of it is silk, so it protects your hair.
Yeah, normally you have a silk or satin lining. So when you sleep, if it rubs against it, the friction, the cotton can decrease and take away the oils that we have in our hair to, help moisturize, but also cause split ends. So the lining, the silk and satin, allows your hair to smoothly slide around in it.
Nice.
This is a nice store.
You got nice ones. Mine are horrible.
Yeah, I got this one because I forgot this one at home. So dollar store. They got a little bonnet.
No, girl, that looks like one you can wear as a beanie. Like put that, girl, slide that sucker back and wear that out. Like slide it back in the front and just wear it out.
It's the 1970s.
That's pretty.
Club.
I like that. I think that's funky.
You're gonna put mine to shame. I like
right. They like it. I've seen everybody starting to use bonnets nowadays. It's not just.
They're easier. I think they're easier on your edges because with the scarf, you tie it and it's right on your edges.
Right.
So I think the bonnet's easier to put on, and they don't fall off. I think as much.
That's like one of my fears. If I ever get pregnant one day, and after the baby comes, get the postpartum shedding, I'm scared I'm gonna have 2 bald spots on the side of my head.
Don't be listening to Tamar. Tamar be wearing too many wigs and weaves, and that's the reason her edges fell out. That was not postpartum. You did not have postpartum 4 years after your baby.
I see the pictures. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of hair that comes out.
I came close to wanting to shave my head after I had children. I just was like, I just don't want I can't cope with my hair right now. They're pulling it. Like these bits here, like the baby gets. And like I actually like my second one was just managed to find the tiny hairs here, and it just really hurt. And I was just like, and I got scissors and I cut these bits. We couldn't grab them because I would then I'd have my hair up and plaited out the way, but these bits he sort of pull out. So I cut them and he couldn't grab them anymore.
Kids love pulling on things.
Crazy parenting moment.
Solandra says, when something is off in a book, seemingly written by a Black author, immediately check the cover and do more research. That's true. Like, to me, I'm all about a book making sense, no matter who, because I read a little bit of everybody, okay? But I like a book to make sense. But I will say, this book, I rated much more harshly because it was by a Black author, because she should have known better. What you put in the book, like, I don't know who she's trying to appeal to, but I think anybody Black would definitely be like, oh heck no, like some people don't catch things more than others because it depends on your background. But I'm like, girl, nope, not gonna do it.
I wonder if it was written like that for people that fetishize Black females.
It could be, but there wasn't enough in there for the fetish. It was just like little comments every once in a while. And I'm like, it just, like, if she would have taken out certain things, it would have been maybe okay. But I just feel like as a BWWM, we need more of a racial component to it.
Right.
And not racism, but like a racial component about how are y'all so different. And I just didn't see that. If anything, it was just sexism and elitism to a certain extent, but whatever. Okay, so give me a truth.
Sometimes being typed up for like a darker romance vibe, but it from the way you're talking about it, it didn't sound like it was that. It was enough to be that. Like,
nah, it was just bad writing. I'm gonna just say that.
Can't save it. It's not happening. I'm sorry.
Okay, so give me a number with 3 through 6 and 8 through 10.
3 through 6. 4.
4. Okay. Truth. Has a romance or smut enhanced your personal life?
Are we both answering this?
Yeah, y'all can both answer. How about that?
Made me realize what things are a yes for me and what things are a no for me in certain areas.
You've established some boundaries.
I'm like, well, if I'm reading something and then I'm just like, oh, then I'm like, well, clearly that would be a no. And if I'm reading something like this is quite, yeah, maybe, then maybe it would lead me on to explore.
There you go. How about you, Miss Jaleesa?
I'm gonna have to say no, and it's not because I'm ace. It's more so like when they're the way the authors write these sex scenes and stuff. I'm not necessarily overthinking, but I'm thinking from my point of view. Like, are your hands clean? Did you take a shower with soap and water? Okay. Did you brush your teeth? Did you use mouthwash? Like, I'm always thinking about cleanliness. So when I'm listening to this stuff or reading, yes, it's exciting to read, but I'm like, y'all didn't wash your hands? It'll be like right after they finish cooking or something. Ew. So if somebody comes out with a clean romance,
there's a lot of those. I'm closed door ones.
Clean as in like clean nothing, or clean as in like we are.
Yeah, we are clean. Clean. I want your nails cut. Clean hands.
Yeah.
Brush your teeth. Just be clean. I don't
give me
brushing teeth. The person who came home from a long day at work, they worked 16 hours, and you're like, yeah, I missed you. No, you funky. Ew.
Yeah, clean is not sexy in books. It's not spontaneous. But me at home, it's clean. Like, did you take a shower? Like, did you just wash your hands? I saw you down there kissing the dog, so you need to come out here. It's like, you're not coming at me when I just saw you hugging and kissing on the dog 10 minutes ago. So, that's not sexy in books, but that's reality.
No, it takes me out of the story. Or like when somebody is finished eating like some kind of fish garlic something. I'm like, I know that breath is rank.
And they have to eat a whole meal, and then we want to do the do. I'm full. Don't touch me.
Me too. I'm like,
I am full. We just had a whole dinner. No.
No. Let's just digest. Then take a shower and then we do what we need to do. But I understand it's a book. I'm too realistic.
Some scenes do give you ideas. I will say that though.
Right. It gives me ideas, but
Kiana says she needs to tell if the character is black or white, like describe them. See,
right.
I feel like I don't know. I guess because I've read so many books and most of the characters have been white, I feel like that's always the default if there's not in my head, if there's not enough characteristics. I don't want like over details, but because I feel like I've read some books where what the character looked like, because the book was so fast paced, didn't really factor into stuff. But if you're going to say, like for an urban fiction, right? If you're writing an urban fiction, we do need a description because that's kind of part of it. But that's part of the whole idea when people say urban fiction. Urban in the dictionary means pertaining to Black, but it can also mean city. So it's like if we're talking about the Black component, you need descriptions and things surrounding, because normally a lot of urban fiction has like, they're in the hood. I'm not saying it's all that way, but the ones that I've read, they're hood. Everything's about this hood. I need you to describe the hood stuff so I can get into the hood aspect. And I'm not hood, but I recognize it in a book and can appreciate it. But so if you're not describing those type things, and as well as what the character is about and what they look like, then I have issue. But I will say that I enjoy when they talk about Black characteristics in a book, because I haven't seen myself like that in books. So when somebody says the character has dreads, I'm like, yay! When they talk about, like my last book was talking about how the person slathered themselves with some cocoa and shea butter, I was like, yes, I was excited. I'm like, okay, we got some realism going on.
We have no ashy characters.
Exactly. And the girl talked about her hair care routine, talking about how she'd been stressed so much lately that her hair care routine, as she described it, was just too much and she just didn't have time for it. So her hair was jacked up. I could appreciate that. I appreciate you.
That's our truth.
She was like, I don't have an entire day to devote to my hair. So I put it in a ratty ponytail and I'm probably going to lose a little hair when I take it out. I was like, girl, you were real. I appreciated that. That is realism in a book. That is a Black author wrote that book.
Right.
I can tell it.
Otherwise, we don't know her.
Hubby would say, yeah. Them let your husband like read some of those scenes to your partner every once in a while. Like I save the fun scenes for my reading to my husband, or I'll rewind if it's an audio part. I'll be like, hey babe, listen to this. There's some bad ideas though. He'd be like, I'm coming to bed early. I'm like,
oh, do I know how to make jollof? I would like to say I know how to make it. My husband says I know how to make it well. He calls it concoction rice instead of jollof. But yes, I can make jollof rice, and I've made a goosey before. We have, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the little seeds. We have them inside the freezer, as well as what is it? It's like pumpkin seeds or something. It's the white stuff that goes inside with the green. You know what I'm talking about. She knows what I'm talking about. But yes, I know how to cook Nigerian food.
That ought to be really good. That ugusi
It's very tiring. I enjoy cooking, but cooking Nigerian food is for me is a chore, because growing up, I'm used to my mother. If she's in the comments, hey mama, she'll tell you, I grew up eating chicken like all my life for the most part. But it was always like a stew chicken, meaning that she would just wake up, put a whole bunch of chicken inside the roaster, and then let it cook until the meat falls off the bone. So I like my meat, tender. My husband, no, he wants it fried hard. So that means I have to boil the meat first, then I have to fry it. So it's like the bird is already dead. Now it's like 3 times dead.
That's double.
And then I got to blend the pepper, and I got to add I don't mind doing it, but it's like I'm out of commission. I can't do it no more. I'm tired. So now he's cooking most of the time. If I do cook, it's a treat, and he appreciates it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, choose a dare number.
5.
Make up a smutty line of dialogue.
Oh. Hmm.
Do we need a context?
No. Smutty line of dialogue.
I'm gonna have to write this down. Let's see.
Let me see if I can think of one.
How many lines do you want?
I don't know. Just think of two characters talking to each other. What's a smutty line of dialogue? I always hear, I'm going to ruin you for every man. I'm like,
Ooh,
That,
don't
that
hurt me.
that's too much for me. I'm like, that doesn't sound nice. I don't want to be ruined. This is a nice place. I'd like people to come here. People, I mean, one person to come here again. Like that doesn't sound like it would be fun for me.
That's definitely them dark romances. It's always funny
Yeah,
when they say
that
that.
is-
It's like, I'm going to ruin you. And I'm just like,
No.
Let me put my best male voice. It's been too long. Come over here and let me hammer you. Let me hammer you.
Hammering is acceptable. That's the correct level. I also appreciate the voice. That was a
give us a Barry White voice
stuff.
now. I like the voice, but give me a Barry White voice now.
A Barry White?
Yeah, give me a Barry
how
White.
would that be? It's been too long. Come over here and let me hammer you. Yeah, as you can tell, I don't read a lot.
I think I preferred the first one.
Oh, you prefer the first one?
That's right.
I take it Jenny doesn't have one.
You don't like that one? I tried.
That was funny.
Oh,
I definitely don't think I'd be able to manage the sexy voice. Like my voice
Okay,
is.
Kiana, give us one. Give us one, Chatty. I'm not Chatty. Kiana, put one in the chest.
yeah.
I'll throw a good girl in there.
That was funny. Okay, Chatty, your turn. Oh
Well, my turn to like pick something, or my turn to say
Yeah, just
sexy.
pick anything, truth or dare. We're way over time, but if y'all having a good time, I am too. I'm not going
I will pick a. I will go for a truth.
Oh no, you can do one.
Oh, I'll do one. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, I picked a truth out. I don't know what it is. Okay. I mean, I feel that Courtney's already possibly has an answer for this. Which book would you like to throw at the author and rant to their face at for whatever reason?
You're right, the last one. No, actually, you know what? Well, that one, but there's the Sarah Scribbles. I talk about this all the time. I think it's dumb and stupid. I would throw that at whoever, the Sarah Scribbles lady.
The boot tag that you did, wasn't it? Yeah, the most ridiculous book.
It's just, I don't get it. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I'm just like, this is dumb. And I can't believe people love this. And there's a whole series. I'm just like, who published this crap?
Somebody. I don't know. It seems like lately, as long as you have a good like 5 books after that, they don't even read your books anymore. They just go ahead and publish. One author like that I read a book from, 3 books. I feel so sorry for my little book club. I had them read this as their first book or first 3 books of last year. I bet they wanted to cuss me out. But the books that I'm talking about is the Mrs. Wiggins series by Mary Monroe. I enjoyed the first book, but then books 2 and 3, I wanted to throw it back at her. Like, girl, what is this? Like, you basically have 2 characters. They're always lying to each other. And that's all you're doing for 400 some pages.
Lying to each other about what?
About having relations with other people while being married at the same time.
Oh.
not a happy marriage then.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So, like, one of the people, they had to get remarried, or both of them had to get remarried. One of them was trying to see why the other person was not attracted to them. But then because she was so sexually frustrated, she ended up cheating on him. Meanwhile, she doesn't know that he actually likes men. So it's like both of them are just like, yeah, that's the gag. So, like, what? Why are we doing this? Y'all are lying. And then she, in order to make him marry her, she lies and says that she's pregnant. But she was pregnant. It's just not by him.
Oh,
See?
this book is all problematic. And there's 3 books in this whole thing.
And there may be a 4th one in March.
And it's the same characters?
The same character. Well, no, I think it's going to change. It's in the same town now. So, like, the 4th book may be just different people in the same town.
But it's 3 books with following that same couple. They haven't broken up by now. Yeah, I can't condone reading that and continuing. That sounds like a one book, just one juicy book. It shouldn't be 3.
Right.
books.
It shouldn't have to be 3 books. It could have been like there's so many different ways she could have done it. But maybe she's so used to writing trilogies, she just drew it out. Yeah. I didn't like it.
That sounds like how Blood Debts kind of let me down and introducing some characters you did nothing with to sucker me into reading the subsequent books.
I hope the second book is good.
But it sounds juicy what you're talking about.
It is, but I'm not one for like a small town. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's believable that you all can do all this cheating and nobody knows.
That's true. That's true. It's like in the church. You know, people know.
No.
Nell says, learn what S2 photography.
She said, I don't want to know. Wait, I know what STFU is.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Well, I think I know all the way up until the last G. What is that last G?
I don't know about
I
this one.
know.
I'm just clueless.
See if y'all can politely, without us getting banned, say what this is. I don't even know.
Oh, take the like a good girl. Oh, okay. So
well,
I was all right until the GG. Okay. So I was on point.
That's what you're talking about. Any African food takes time to cook. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes all day, but it tastes so good. My
see.
favorite thing to cook is the moi moi with the it's like a bean pie, I guess you can say. I love cooking that and meat pie. So good.
I like the food.
Yes. My favorite swallow is yam flour. My husband likes amala.
Yeah, I don't eat a whole lot of African food because we don't really have a lot of those here. I went to a restaurant. It was such a debacle, but the food was delicious. Just had my nose just running. My hands were dirty, but I enjoyed
the food
it.
is spicy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a cultural thing or not. And I asked my husband, but he really couldn't explain it to me. We went to this African restaurant in Houston. And was it Sugarland? One or the other. We went out there. First time, really great customer service. They bring you a bowl so you can wash your hands and so you can eat the food and everything, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's custom to wash your hands before you eat. The second time we go, the customer service is okay. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you remember our faces, don't you? Third time we go, they didn't even look at us for like 30 minutes. And I was like,
You're like, you're part of it.
And it's the same people. And I'm like, why is it that they're treating us differently when we've given them our money 3 times now? He's like, I don't know, but I'm not leaving a tip.
With like different glasses and a different hat and be like, we're different people. You don't know us. Give us a good service.
But he told the man, he said, we're not coming here anymore. We're not coming here anymore. Because the customer service was good. The food was okay, but still.
That's just like the restaurant I went to. It was just too much of a chaos where the lady seemed like she was trying to swindle somebody else, and they didn't even have the lights on when we went there. It was just a mess. I don't even know. The chicken was super hard. I was like, is this place even open? Yeah, it seems like more one of those places where you take the food to go, but they market themselves as a BYOB. So my friends, we show up for girls' night with our bottles of wine ready to cut up, and it's like, this place open, and we stand there, and nobody for the first 10, 15 minutes says anything. Like, I'm like, is this place open? They see us here, but nobody even addresses us. So we're about to leave, and then the lady kind of chases us down in the parking lot. I'm glad the food, and then the chaos, more chaos ensued from there. It was just a big mess, but the food was good. I just wouldn't go there.
But why is it like that? It's like they may have bad customer service or they're rude and the food is still good.
Yeah. So you're torn. Yeah, you just got to know before you go. So Nell is not for the blood, death, slander.
Uh-oh.
It's not horrible.
No.
I just have reservations about some of it. I'm gonna look. Adrian told me another good booktuber, Sister Harlem's Library, said that on NetGalley that they have the second one, which isn't out till April. So since I just finished this, I'm gonna see if I can get the second one now. So if I can somehow get an arc, then maybe I'll continue. But we shall see. We shall see. I just think there's some things that were not done well. At the F up and take this like a
okay.
Oh, well, okay, I did it. Thank you very much for explaining that like that. It's much appreciated. Here's the thing. Who is typing all this out? Like when you're like, I'd be doing a typo. Like, I mean, no.
I mean, if you have an iPhone, I don't know how it works on the Android, but you can make like a little shortcut and you just type the first 2 or 3 letters and the whole rest of it will come up.
I am so not I'm one of those people to where I don't do like LOL and stuff like that. Like the best I do for slang is an emoji, and I'm still learning those. So, but other than that, I'm typing, like it takes me a while to text because I'm correcting, and then you know how autocorrect. Like I like things spelled. Like I went to school. I want to use my words that I learned in English in the correct spelling. Okay. Huh?
I was gonna say, do you remember when like texts were 10p a text back in those days before this limitless? And you were like, you start taking all the vowels out so you can cram as much stuff in that text as possible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it was like, how letter R U.
Okay, yeah, I used to text like that. I had my first cell phone when I was like 16, I think. And that was back in like 2005, I think. Something like that. 2005, 2004, 2005. We didn't have to, I think it was unlimited. I don't think we had any.
Yeah, I'm a bit older than you. I was I was the brick phone where it was all like
I had
letters.
Nokia.
I had the bar phone and I couldn't even text on that. Like
you had to go through all the letters. It's like A, B, C. I want C.
Yes.
E, F.
I remember that. The little Nokias. I had that. I know what you're talking about.
And then I was like, oh, damn it. It's over. It's over by 2. I'm going to the next text. Right, go through. What vowels can I get rid of? I'm not. I
had a little bar phone. That's the reason why I got a BlackBerry after that one, because I hated having to cycle through all those letters to get to. So I didn't really text very much. My phone was not good for texting. And definitely no pictures. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, pictures was a long time.
How many texts you could send per month? Oh my gosh.
Really? You know what? I don't know. It's like now that I'm older and I have bills, I never realized how much me and my sister were kind of not necessarily spoiled, but we didn't have to really care about stuff that most people have to care about, like the lights being on, right? Most of the time people will say turn the lights off if you're in the room. That's what I do now because I'm paying bills. But when we were living in the house, my father, I did exactly what he did, which is leave the light on and not even be in the room. Leave the computer on all the time. Turn the water on. I'll have the water on, y'all, for like a good 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm doing other stuff. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I need to go take a shower.
Lisa, how dare you?
I know, but now I know better. Mama, I am so sorry. But yeah, but they never said anything. They never complained about the bill being too high, nothing like that.
An extra $15 why for water bill because you're in the other room.
They didn't care. If it was cold, they'll be like, oh, we need to just make sure we turn the heat on. The heat will be on at like 75 or 80 degrees. I know. So you can imagine our light bill, our power bill was high. But now I know better. I put mine on 69. That's enough. I don't make it too high. I'll be okay.
Girl, mine stay on 68 year round.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm mentally trying to convert to Celsius.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess it's around 20.
Yeah.
Around 20. That's how it is in my house. I don't.
21 is kind of like max. When it gets really cold, we'll like maybe take it up to 23.
Right. Not too high.
Yeah.
See, this is how old I am. We didn't have cell phones when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a cell phone until then because my mother and father said I didn't need it until I got a car. So that's the only reason why I didn't have one. But all my other friends, they had cell phones way before I did.
I think I was 13, but I had it was like the family phone, but I got to take it to school in case I needed to contact anyone. Yeah. And I kept that phone for a long time. Then everyone got one. And then everyone started getting, I never had the ones that you could play games on. All my friends used to have Snake on the Nokias.
Yeah, I love Snake.
I never had that. I'd play it on other people's phones. And I used to have one. It had a tiny little aerial that stuck out like that. It had a little aerial. And I had this for years. And I'd always have it out in my bag, when we'd go out at night, and I'd be like, well, I feel like I've got some sort of weapon. If anything, whack you with my brick of a phone, stab you with my aerial.
I was talking about closing the refrigerator door and leaving the lights on and stuff. Yeah. I'll be doing stuff, but my husband, he'll leave it open and do other stuff. But I get on him because he forgets things all the time. With me, I have I call it ADD Nation sometimes because I go from one thing to another around the house, but I'm completing tasks. I know that I left the light on, but in a minute I'm coming back. So, but with him, he'll leave it on and completely forget and go downstairs for hours. And so I get on him about, babe, turn the light off. But he was like, well, you do the same thing. I'm like, because I'm coming back and I know I'm coming back.
Right.
You leave that on for forever. You know,
I mean, wondering why the bill is high because you left the light on.
Yeah, but we went out of town one day and I checked the camera and the lights was on. They forgot. It'd been on for a full 24 hours. I'm like,
what? I did that before with a fan. I felt so bad. I just left the fan going.
I left the oven on once.
Was something
the oven on the top?
Okay.
Nothing was no, the oven in. So it was just
I think that's
How
okay.
long?
As long as you didn't have to broil, you okay.
Hour and a half, maybe.
Hour and a half. That's not bad. Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It just felt bad.
Yeah, put that sucker on broil. Be like, why is it hot in here?
Right.
Okay, let's get to another truth. You have another truth?
Yep.
Or dare?
I have one. Do you want another truth? Okay.
Yeah. We'll end this at 10. I know we're way later than I had planned, but that's fine if y'all okay. Y'all okay with plan, which is 15 minutes.
Is there a book you have not been 100% honest about your opinion of?
Ooh. See, I think I'm pretty honest about my books. The thing is, when I'm on BookTube, I just discuss the book. So it's not all the details about it. Whereas when I do my written review, because every book that I read, I do a written review for, because I started as a written reviewer anyway. And so I feel like I go a lot more hard in on things that I really have an issue with. Like this structure is horrible about how this person wrote. It has to be really just over the top for me to really kind of go into it on the channel. So I may kind of just gloss over it a little bit, or maybe not mention or something. But I think I'm pretty honest about my books, though. I'm not.
I'm similar. Yeah. I'm honest, maybe a little bit too honest sometimes, but because I'm honest, but I can see how sometimes I'll do a review and it comes off as if I'm trying to make up for, I'll say something negative and then all of a sudden it'd be something positive. So then whoever's watching, they're thinking, well, girl, how do you feel about it? I'm like, it was okay. But
it's okay to rant and say this book sucks.
It's like, look, I have likes and I have dislikes. That's how I usually format my stuff. I'll say the like and there's a dislike, and then I'll suggest it to somebody, because if I don't like something, it may be something that you do like. So I try to be as honest as possible. I think the only time I maybe left out a lot of my thoughts because I was completely lost is when I had reviewed a poetry collection, because I don't read poetry. It goes over my head. You might as well be speaking, I don't know, another language, because I don't get it. But I try to find the good in it, and then I just say, I'll have to revisit. That's what I always say. I will have to revisit, and maybe on the second time around, I may love it.
So you're apprehensive to just say, I don't, this book is not.
I feel like there's a book out there for everybody. Even though that book may not be for you, it may be for somebody else. So have at it. Mm-hmm.
I've gotten more comfortable with saying, hey, this book, I don't like it, and just leaving it at that. Because I feel like we all have an opinion, and our channel is about like our opinion. But but I try to present things fairly. Like I would never say this book sucks and never say anything else. Just like when people 1 or 2 star book and say nothing. I think that means absolutely nothing to me that you just gave it a star, even a 5 star. Right. Tell me why. So I can know. And that's kind of where I am. I'm going to give you details. So if you actually listen and to what I'm saying, then you can weed out whether or not this is legitimately something for you based off of my taste versus there's some problematic elements with the book. Yeah. Two different things.
Yeah.
I've done it in real life. So I read a book and someone in my office was like, oh my goodness, I love that book so much. And I just started. It's like, oh, okay, cool. That's great.
Right.
I did not like the book. The book was just not for me. But I could see where she came from. But she was so excited to tell me about what she liked about this book that I just kind of nodded and smiled and was like, yeah, that was interesting. And, I didn't know her enough to I've known her for a while, but we're not close enough for me to go, this was not for me because of this. It was. So I just kind of nodded and smiled. I was like, yeah, sure. Great.
Don't let it be me.
Not be reading anymore.
You gotta speak up so she understands it's not the best book out there, sis.
Yeah. But I think it was also I didn't really want to get into a conversation because
I'll be ready to fight. Let's go.
If it was a good friend, then I'd probably be more going in for the full-on chat. But I'm like, you want to tell me how much you love the book. It's making you excited. I'll just sit and take it, and then I'll say goodbye and move on.
Right. And hope you don't bring up that book again.
Don't let her
no. Luckily, it wasn't a case of, oh, you liked it, I'll give you something else to read. It was very just that little moment, and then it didn't kind of move on from there. So that was fine. But yeah, that was where I was not 100% honest because she just was so happy. I didn't want to disappoint her. And I didn't really have time to kind of go into great detail. And I was like, I don't know how much she'd care exactly what my opinions are. It's not going to necessarily change her opinions or we're not then going to bond over other books because her taste is so different from mine. Mm-hmm. And I need to kind of go and do this thing. So I don't have the time.
Not you finding it out.
So Kiana says she did not love Amari and the Night Brothers. Yeah, I know a lot about this. I haven't ventured in it, but yes, this is what, Channy loves this. She's talked a lot about it. Yeah.
The thing is, I liked it, but if I don't remember any of it, that's the problem. And that makes me think that if I go back and look at my Goodreads rating, I may change it based on the fact that I cannot remember what happened in that book.
But do you remember the vibe? Do you remember the vibe? Look how pretty. Do you remember the vibe of the book?
I remember the vibe. Yes, I do remember the vibe. I remember the story, but I remember feeling good. Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's fine. I think sometimes we don't need to remember the details. I think sometimes remembering how it made you feel is important because there's so many books we read. We can't remember everything. And our brains would be mahoosive. I just think it's quite nice, but I'm also I'm a rereader, so if I can't remember stuff exactly, it's exciting because then you kind of get it a little bit fresher, or you get reminded when you're reading again.
Right.
So it's okay you didn't like it. It's okay. Like,
Daddy
it
loves
hurts
middle
a little
grade, by
bit,
the
but
way,
it's
y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like when
But-
you have a movie and you can't remember the details. So don't feel bad about it. Like look at the amount of like when people say y'all read a lot of books. Well, look at all the movies and television shows that we watch all the time. I mean, you probably watch more of that than the books you read per year. So it's
Right.
like can't be expected to read them. I remember more details about my books than on TV shows that I watch. So
Same. Mhm.
but I've not read Amari, but yeah, people love it. So shh, don't tell too many people.
It's okay. It's
Don't
nice
always
to
say
have
Mari.
different opinions.
Okay,
It's nice
fine.
to have different
It
opinions, but
is.
this is my jam. It's middle grade. It's an amazing world, and I really like a protagonist where the world's kind of a bit against them, and they've got to fight kind of like prejudice and injustice, as well as like regular day-to-day life. I really enjoy that. I've read a few books, so a few middle grade books actually, where you've got that situation, and I've just realized just how much that is really a really good trope for me. I find it really juicy and really fun. But yeah, I've adopted Amari.
That's your precious.
She's a child as well. She doesn't need me. She's fine, but she's one of my book babies.
Nell says, just because I hated a book, I don't want to discourage other people from reading it because they may actually enjoy it.
Right.
That's true. But that's why I think you give details and the people make their own decisions about it. So
There's only one book where I've not felt that way.
what's that?
The one we both got sent.
Oh, I think a lot of people, where is that? This book,
you
I
still
didn't
have
hate
it.
it, but I didn't love it. I know a lot of people, this guy was going, did you get this too?
No, but I know it was making its rounds, and I was like, "Why the hell everybody got this damn book?"
Yeah, he reached out to here's the thing. Okay, so when this guy reached out to me, I was like, I'm gonna put it down just in case he listens. But like, I was like, oh, I'm special. Finally, somebody recognizes my little corner. Is gonna send me
Little did you know.
hardback, but that's okay. I was happy. And then I talked to other people. They're like, yeah, that guy messaged me. And I was like, oh, my ego just went down, right?
Oh,
Have you looked him up?
No.
Courtney,
No. What happened?
he's a pastor.
Okay, I do remember hearing about that. Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
But okay, for one, I think he's just pulling booktubers out of the hat, right? From all different walks of life, which is good. Get a little diversity, a little bit of everybody.
Right.
That's good. But have you watched my channel? Do
Right.
I mean, I'm not a potty mouth all the time, but I cuss. I like smut. You know, I like horror. You know who you're reaching out to. And I told him, hey, yes, I will read the book in exchange for an honest opinion. In my opinion, it was okay. It just wasn't for me. And I stated that. But I think it was okay. There's just a lot going on. I don't know.
Well, that's what I heard too. A friend of mine who also got the same book, he said that he enjoyed it, but he felt like it wasn't long enough. Like you said, it was just a lot. I know, right?
Is your friend okay? I'm sorry. Are they okay?
That's maybe a little bit not enjoyed, but he said he liked it and he can see potential. Like it, but he feels like it should have been longer because it was a lot of information in one book.
It was the length it needed to be. It was too long. So No. And I mean, he's not watching this. So guys, like I was very diplomatic when I did it. And I explained what I thought wasn't good. I explained what I thought he obviously enjoyed doing. But look, I'm a fantasy reader. I read a lot of fantasy. What the hell was this?
What was it?
I mean, it was fantasy. I like the part with the stars, like being in the shape of. I mean, I gave it a 3-star for effort, but I thought it was okay. I think that it was just a lot going on. And if there's religious
on the
I
page,
didn't get them all.
He's put words on the page. He's gone to a lot of effort. However, I mean, you talk about characters disappearing. We start off in the real world. The real world is never explained to us. We never get a sense of the real world at all. The protagonist has no personality. We don't know anything about her. She has 2 friends you never hear of again. She has no emotion. She worries. She has just been like chased by demons, has been given this crazy like thing that she's got to do. And she's worrying about her hair.
See, you remember way more than I did. I took that book on vacation and was reading about the pool, and I kept flipping back and forth like, what am I reading? And then I started skimming a little bit.
And then random characters are introduced. I'm like, who the hell is this person? Why do we care about them? What are they trying to do?
Animals was cool though.
What was cool?
Like the half animals, where like it was like half beast, like half lizard and half.
Not really.
And then I thought there was going to be a romance, and I was like, okay, maybe this will be the redeeming quality. And then that didn't go there, and I was like, I'm done.
And I'm sorry, but the dialogue. I wish my copy got recycled. My copy got recycled. Oh, and read the Goodreads reviews. They're interesting.
Oh, I didn't go over that. Maybe I should do
that. So the 5-star Goodreads reviews amazingly started their Goodreads journey around August last year.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Was there words behind the stars?
The words behind the stars were, if you are looking for, if you're someone that enjoys, are you a fantasy reader? No one writes reviews like that. That's a blurb. That's you trying to make people read a book. These are your friends.
That's that. Who's that other author that they just caught?
No, it's not to that level. I mean, it's trying to make this book work and appeal, but it's.
I ain't never seen somebody work hard. Harder than they did on the book.
I mean, Courtney, you got a free hard copy. I got free hard copy. Everyone got free hard copy. That just cost loads of money.
That's true. I think it has potential. I'll say that. I think the book has potential. No, well, hold up. Let me go. I think the author has potential because I think he has quite an imagination. I think it needs to be fleshed out more. I can see that book, if somebody's talking about it being full length, put more into it and make it full length because it is an epic journey. There is a lot of description. It just keeps coming at you though, and I'm just like,
you need to read. It was the same pace throughout. It was the same. There was the only kind of quiet moments were when they got on. What were they on? Like a flying boat or something? I kind of remember. And but then they were trying to have this family vibe. And I'm like, we've literally just met you. I didn't even know you guys existed. Like, if you want to set up any kind of emotional connection, we need to be knowing about the legends of these people in the beginning before you introduce them to us. And you need to work on your dialogue. Like, the dialogue was terrible.
You need to write him.
I was just not invested. You were way more in depth than I thought I would have. I was just like, I'm just not understanding certain things.
And there was really there was such an icky moment. So we're going to gloss over the fact that she was worried that, she'd had sex and was tarnished. We'll ignore that.
The Lord. Okay.
And it was okay because she was reassured that was okay. We're not worried about that. That's
felt like he was trying to spread the word with this book, but okay, keep going.
And then there was this. So the girl has a crush on someone in the found family and is talking to another guy, and she's like, but what would I have to offer him? I don't have anything. I'm like an orphan. I have no friends. I have no this. And he's like, and that's exactly why you'd appeal to someone like me, because if I was going to get with you, I'd want just to be your whole world. I'd want you to focus just on me, and I'd want all your attention. And I'm like, wow.
This sounds like a dark romance. I'm going to ruin you for any men.
Wow. This girl obviously would not be ruined because she is special and pure.
Yeah, that book's just it
up.
wasn't for me. And you remember way more details than I did because I kept checking out of the book. And truthfully, the only reason I finished it is because it was something that was sent to me and I felt like I owed it because I said I would read it. But I did find myself skimming parts. But I mean, I did think that it had potential. I just think it wasn't for me. And I will say truthfully, I was being nice by giving it 3 stars. I wanted to give it a little bit less. But I gave it the 3 because I see the potential, and I was like, okay, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't rate books, so that was okay. I'm just like.
So Nell is not like Tender of the Flesh. In my year of rest and relaxation, both of those were hot garbage.
Garbage. They're gonna be hot. I never read either of them, but people be talking about them as if they're the best books out there.
I didn't read Year of Rest and Relaxation, but Tender is the Flesh. Okay, Tender is the Flesh made a big splash. I think it's because, in my opinion, I could be wrong, just because of the nature of it, right? Because the whole idea of humans eating meat, the special meat, it was not what I expected. I think it had a really good premise as well. But the execution, like for what it was, I was expecting something way more. Like I was thinking it was something more like, what's books about cannibalism or movies? Like, I don't know, something like with some action in it. Like what's like I Am Legend or something where like people are going at each other.
Like a zombie kind of thing to it.
Say that again?
Zombies, sort of kind of.
Yeah, zombies. You know, what is the movie? What's this? A Texas Chainsaw or whatever? Where the family eats the folks, things like that. I thought it would be something like that, where it was a cannibalism aspect, where it was some action involved, not the idea that the government has decided we're going to have this special meat and it's like a kind of like this guy navigating his journey through it. It was more emotional, I guess, with that. It wasn't what I expected, but I did enjoy the idea. I think I gave that a 3 too, I think, or maybe a 4. But I thought it was done well. It just wasn't what I expected. So I was a bit let down that it wasn't some action or something super awesome in that. Like even when, like, y'all haven't read it though, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil anybody.
No, it's fine for me. I'm most likely to forget after.
Yeah, well, there might be some people in the chats, but okay.
I'm sorry. I forgot about y'all.
Yeah. Like you have this guy that he gets a human that he's supposed to like as a gift. Like, you know how somebody gives you like Omaha steaks for Christmas, right?
Yes, keep talking. I'm remembering something that's comparable to what you're talking about. Keep going.
Okay, so he's given this person as his Omaha steak. Hey, here's some special meat. Okay, well, he has a bit of a problem with consuming this special meat. So I'm thinking the fact that he's holding her or something, that something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna find that he has the special meat and what he's doing with the special meat. No. I just felt like it was just like, so I was just disappointed.
Didn't tell you what.
Yeah. All right, what were you saying, Jaleesa?
It sounds like it's a little bit like that movie on Hulu. It's called Fresh. Have you all seen it?
I haven't seen it. What's that?
Well, long story short, this lady, I don't remember how she met this man, but he put something inside her drink and then she wakes up inside of a room and it's locked. And she doesn't understand why she's there. Then she starts hearing this lady's voice through the vent. All I'm gonna say is people be eating people, okay? And it's like, and like when you kept saying special meat, I'm like, I know I've seen something with special meat, but this, I think what he ended up doing is he cuts off the meat that goes for sale the most is the thigh meat. So he cuts off your pieces of your body a little bit at a time. You don't die all at once. And he puts it inside the freezer, packages it, and then people actually buy. It's like a market.
So they know they're getting human meat?
Mm-hmm. You're getting human meat.
And so the people that he's cutting off the thigh, are they still moving around?
Painfully.
That's weight loss, I guess.
And I think he liked this girl for whatever reason. He wanted her to come on his side, and he fed her some of the human meat.
Did he cut anything off of her initially, though?
Not then. Okay. Yeah, but afterwards, he was trying.
How many seasons is this again?
Oh, it's just one movie.
Oh, it's a movie. Oh, okay. I can't dick with series, but movies, I've written more things down in this sprint than I have in a long time. Movie. This sounds like my husband and I alley.
I'm not a horror movie. Especially body horror, freaks me out. And just like that whole aspect, I'd probably go to bed with utter nightmares. I'd be having terrible dreams about being in a locked room and people wanting to eat me. It would totally freak me out. I'm a massive wuss.
That leads me to a question I have. Let me pin mark it before. So,
I'm still getting over being shown Saw when I was at uni, and it was on one of those like tiny TV screens that people would have in their bedrooms. So it was like tiny, and just like that whole, you've got to cut your own ankle off to escape.
Oh my God, I remember that scene. I don't know, if I had to choose one, I think that really made my butt clench. It'll be that, and when that girl jumped into like this, not a dungeon, but it was like she jumped into the hole where there were keys, and it was like in a sea, or I don't know what you want to call it, full of needles, basically.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I don't want to explain it. It was so gross.
Yeah, she was the previous drug addict, and then she was helping him in the end. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and she just kept going. I'm like, oh my God, why aren't you dead yet? Like, whatever was in those needles, it should be in your veins by now. I don't like this. The Saw keeps going on for too long.
Yeah.
I saw the first one like really badly, and like that, like trying to be like, okay, there's uni people here. Try and be a big girl about this.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody can't take it. I'm a horror girl around. That's all I watch is horror.
Nell says Fresh was way better than Tender is the Flesh. This leads me to the next question. Which would you choose? Straights if you lived alone.
Okay.
I already know the answer to this. You live alone, which would you choose? And you have to choose one. Straight smut for an entire year or absolute horror gory books?
Oh, easy. Smut.
Give me horror. Give me horror. I already know what's going to happen in the smut. Like, I went to creative ways of chopping people up.
It's established. I cannot do that. I mean, people can do all the kinky stuff they want as long as they're not physically eating, like eating in a good way of each other is fine. Just none of the
Wait, so you
cannibalism.
read any horror, or you haven't read any horror at all? Like, you haven't tried?
I read Coraline.
That is creepy. Okay.
That's my
the bar.
I was okay with that. I started reading Monstrous, the graphic novel.
I heard that was good.
Its drawings are beautiful. I'm sure it's amazing, but I was too upset. I don't think it's a spoiler. If you're wanting to read Monstrous and haven't read it, just until I put my hands down, like, oh, there we go. Until I put my hands down, just like mute or stop listening. So in the beginning, we see our main character, and she's captured with these like 3 little cute kids. Like, one's got cat ears, one's a baby cyclops. And you then go, like, they're all like taken off to different places, and like a little slave market thing. And then she goes in there, and then you see the baby cyclops head on a shelf.
Oh yeah, no. I can read that. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't. I'm too upset. Done.
Jenny's like, oh.
So yeah, that's fine. Just I'll just read about sex. That's fine.
Bag when the guy had to stab himself.
Yes, that one too. I don't know if I could stab myself in the throat just to breathe. Oh my God.
I didn't see that. What was that? What was that?
The 3rd or 4th Saw movie where his head was a box, and the water was coming up. So eventually he was gonna stop breathing. So luckily had a pen in his hand or his pocket, and he opened it up, and it made a little tracheotomy. What for that thing? I don't know. Child, if there's anything Saw, you can count on it for very creative scenes. Just
they do. I've seen Cracotomy, and it is definitely not as easy as that. But yeah, they are. I haven't seen that one. So I've gone way too. Yeah, they need to cut off the series, but they
Mhm.
never will. It's just like the Michael Myers. They're gonna make another one.
I don't know. The last Michael Myers, they made sure we saw he was dead. He may come back in space, so I don't know.
I don't even think that last one was that great.
Give me horror. Oh,
All right. Okay, so let's finish up. We've gone on. This has been very fun, but we definitely got to get out. So, how about any? You have any remaining truths or dares that you think are just really awesome that you want to throw out?
No, I folded them all up. I think I did. The awesome one I did was the shag, marry, kill one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
was my top one. Yeah.
Kiana said she takes smut.
I could say just like an exercise one. Like, what is your worst exercise experience?
My worst exercise experience?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What's your worst exercise experience? Ooh. Was it like an exercise catastrophe? Have you got one?
Ooh. I got one. I won't say it was a catastrophe, but I remember this is my single days way back in the day, right? I had this neighbor that I had met, and she was saying, like, I was underneath the tree or whatever, just sitting out, and anyway, whatever. I met this neighbor, right? I hadn't seen her before. She was down below, and she was like, "Hey, if you ever want to hang out sometime or whatever, let me know." She was single, we were the same age. I was like, "Cool, reach out." And this was before I became more of a little bit more of an extrovert, and generally up until that point, I would never reach out to somebody. But I'm like, what am I doing? I'm here, living here. Mm-hmm. I don't have friends. I had moved away from my family, so I didn't know anybody. And I was like, this is a girl extending me an olive branch. I can actually have a friend, right? So I went on a walk, and this isn't like a walk on a journey. I was just going to go on a walk. It was summertime, but I was thinking about it. So afterwards, I was like, well, let me knock on her door and ask if she wants to go hang out tonight. I wanted to go to a bar, but I didn't have nobody to go with me. So I was going to sit at home. I was like, she may want to go. She don't look like she do anything just like I don't, right? So I knocked on her door, and I'm talking to her, and this was hot outside. This was summertime, right? I'm all sweaty. All of a sudden, I felt like I'm about to pass out, like I'm woozy, and then my eyes go. I think I had like minor heat stroke or something. I never had this before. My eyes, like I couldn't really see. It was just kind of like, well, you can't see, but anyway, it felt like my eyes were and I'm just like, oh, I'm about to pass out, and I'm talking to this girl, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. We'll see each other tonight at 8:00. I'll knock on your door. She was like, are you okay? And I'm sitting there just trying to get into my house.
Oh my God.
Which was like right around the corner, but I'm like sitting there feeling along the back because I'm about to pass out and I can't really see. It's like, and I'm just like, I was probably like about to really have like a heat stroke, I think. So it's not like an exercise thing, but I just exercising, and I think I just didn't have enough water. But once I got into the house, I literally like collapsed and climbed up the stairs and got some water and laid on the floor, and then I was fine. But she probably was like, who the hell is this girl at my house asking me to go somewhere tonight? But we went out. We had a good time.
Excellent. Great. Good. I'm really happy that it's got a happy ending.
Right. I thought you were going to say you passed out before you even met the door.
Yeah, you see your body.
Friends and about to pass out. I'm surprised she showed up. I don't think at all. She gonna rescind that offer of friendship.
I've got a similar one. It's not quite as extreme, but it's that similar thing where it's like you don't know someone that well, and it's almost like you can't just suddenly go, do you know what? I don't feel great. Like my son had a best friend at nursery, and we'd arranged a play date. And I was like unloading the dishwasher, just making sure the house was like quite nice. Unloading the dishwasher, I'd got this drawer open. I can't remember what happened. I picked something up off the floor, forgot the drawer was open, stood up and scraped on the corner of the drawer down my back.
Oh my God.
It was really painful. And I was just like, oh, that really hurts. So I was like, just gonna go lie down for a minute. Like just deal with that. When you have that pain where you just kind of need to just curl up until it passes. It was like that. And then the doorbell rang, and I was like, oh, they're here. And like I could feel my back was wet. So I'm like, there's blood. There's blood. And I was like, I just got down to the door and went, hi, come in.
Thank you.
I just couldn't say, I'm so sorry, I think I've just cut my back. Can I go and deal with it like a normal person? There was just something was just like, I must be friendly and welcoming and completely fine to this person I've never met before.
Were you really injured, like really bad?
Yeah, it's a big cut. Like I had to, when I took my top off, I had to like peel it off. It was like stuck with dry blood.
Dang.
Yeah. And it was like bruised as well.
Got to watch out for those cabinets.
Yeah. Be careful with drawers. Don't leave drawers open. Dangerous.
No cabinets. Me, I don't know if you all know this, but I used to be a lifeguard.
I did not know that. That's
I
cool.
was in high school up until I went to college. I was a lifeguard. And I was doing my little laps that we had to do. I guess you can call it in-service, something like that. But we had to do so many laps every single day to make sure we're conditioned when swimming. And while I was swimming, I don't know, maybe I was low in either, was it potassium or what's the other one? They give you, like you get salt. I started having a leg cramp while I was in the deep end. Mind you, this pool is it goes to 13 feet. It's like one of the Olympic pools. So I was panicking because I was in the middle. I wasn't close to the wall. So I'm trying to like swim and tread water with just one side of my body because my whole leg locked up on me. And it takes a while for I don't know what you call it, like a Charlie horse or a cramp to get out. I was scared.
I did too.
Yeah.
And I can't tread water, so I commend you just for that in general. I sink. I do not float.
Really?
What happened? Did you make it to the side? I mean, obviously you're alive, which is amazing.
I had to dodge people because I wasn't the only one in the pool. All of us were doing our in-service. So I'm trying to go underneath those little, I don't know what you call them, the lanes. Trying to duck underneath, trying to get past people, stay out of their way. So I was like, Lord, just let me get to the steps.
The only one there. The only one there. That'd be freaky.
Right. If I were the only one there, I would have transitioned on to glory.
Or hold on to those lane things and call it a day.
Right.
So
it's like my mind was just like, get to the steps. I should have done it. Just held on to the, what do you call it? The little lane thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The floaty things in the middle.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
You can't do it?
No.
I love swimming. If I could, I'd have a big pool.
Okay, here's a question. Do you actually, in all honesty, get a lot of reading done during sprints?
When I eventually get to sprints, yeah.
It depends. It depends, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. So I don't know how long you all have been around the YouTube bookish community, but around between like 2019 and I want to say 2021, people were doing sprints, but no reading was getting done. You'd get lucky if there was like one sprint. So I barely got a lot of reading done back then. But now with you all and the new community of, the bookish peoples, I'm getting more reading done. So yes, now, but a couple years back, we just be up and just talking. And people were complaining inside the comments, when's the next sprint? When's the next sprint? This is not your channel. Like, just let these people live. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. Nobody's forcing you to be here.
Do your own sprint. Pause and just sprint away,
That's what I don't understand.
Sprint.
When people,
I think it's rude when people ask that. Like so a few weeks ago, I was sprinting with one of my favorite booktubers, and they checked somebody that asked that, are we going to sprint? I thought it was funny, it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, most of us thought it was funny, and the person continued to show up and stuff. But I understood where they were coming from. Because, and I think it was done in an appropriate manner. Like, it was funny and it was kind of, I don't want to say it was harsh. It was done just matter-of-factly. Yeah, Nelson knows what I'm talking about. It was done very matter-of-factly. But at the same time, I understood because I think that same person, and I've also had other people that have done the same thing to me. And I feel like if you want to read, then read. Like I do that through a lot of people's sprints of if they're talking a lot, I'm not going to check you. It's your channel. Do what the hell you want. But so I just read. What I'll do is I'll just let them talk. And if the talking is disturbing me, you know, with the sound, I'll just turn the volume down. And so that way I can continue reading, and then I check in every now and then, because with sprints, I mean, you don't know what people are doing. Like I'll go in and out of sprints because like I'll put it like, especially on weekends, I'll put the computer up there and I'm doing all sorts of stuff. I may even leave and go to the store and come back. Like it's about supporting people's channel and being there and, you know, communicating with the BookTube universe, you know, so I'll be like, hey, I'm doing my hair. I can't type.
Right.
I'm here, but I'm doing stuff in the background. And other people do that too. So I'm not trying to rush other people about what they're doing. If you want to talk, you want to talk, you know, stuff. So, but I don't feel like I personally get a lot of reading done during sprints. It's more for talking. Especially if it's sprints I'm paying attention to. Like if it's just something I'm passively have in the background, then maybe I may get reading done. And I get most of my reading done probably during the day when I'm just doing my own little thing. Yeah, I don't. I make a concentrated effort during my sprints to try to read, because I know for the first year or whatever I was doing sprints, especially Tuesday sprints, because I work on Mondays, I'm running around doing everything on Tuesday during the sprints that I didn't get to do on Monday. But I've been making much more of a concentrated effort to be present, to get reading done during my particular sprints. When other people sprint, generally I'm using that as, hey, y'all keeping me company while I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
I can't say I get a lot of that done.
I kind of struggle with, as you know, getting onto sprints when sprints are happening. I do a lot of sprints in retrospect where I pretend it's live, and if I want to say stuff, I put it in comments, and then sometimes, like you say, like it's actually quite nice to like be doing chores and just having people chatting, just like normal chat. You don't need to pay attention too hard. And then sometimes I go, I'm ready to read. Like I'm all set up. I've got my books. I've got my snacks. It's nice and cozy. I feel like sort of reading with sprints. So even if it's like it's already been done, I'm just watching it from several days ago. Yeah. And then I'll skip to like, okay, I want the sprint. So now I'll skip to the sprint. And then like, good, go. And then I'll listen to the chat afterwards and I'll just put in the comments, I managed to read like 20 pages or something like that.
Yeah. See?
This work with it. Yeah.
Take sprints like very seriously.
Yes.
Let me clean it up. Not very seriously, but I guess because it's come such a staple now, they expect to be there and then, quote unquote, actually get things done. And it's like, okay, we're getting things done, but let's look at it another way as we're connecting. Okay, let's connect. We haven't seen each other since last Tuesday. People talk, like it doesn't hurt to talk. Because how I see things online virtually, in my head, I'm thinking if we were in a room together, are you telling me you're going to holler at me for talking to Courtney and that over here? You want to get upset with me for talking? You can go inside the other room. There's a quiet room over there. It's fine. And if you don't want to be here, that's fine too. You're not hurting my feelings. Yeah. But I get it. Because some people look forward to it. I guess they have like some kind of, what is the word? A schedule, you know, like
it's like a routine.
I'm not a routine person if you can't tell. I'm very chaotic. But I know some people are used to it, because I've seen this, even some discourse. They're like, aren't you supposed to be sprinting today? And the person has to say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. And that's something that's like one of my pet peeves. I don't enjoy hearing people apologize for something they can't control or something that they haven't done. It's like, what are you apologizing for? You don't have to apologize.
Yeah.
That time is yours.
That's true. And things will always come up. It's just like in your normal life. I try to at least stick to a schedule that I know I can keep and I'm realistic that I can. So it takes a lot for me to cancel something that I put out there. But that's just me in general across the board. But but some people, they only read during sprints, especially since there's so many of them now. So it can become an issue. I know for this particular thing that you're talking about, I didn't know that till after the fact, only recently. So I'm understanding now. I get it, but at the time it was like I was just shocked.
Wait, does her name start with an A?
Huh?
Does her name start with an A?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen it.
Yeah, but I get it now. But that wasn't known to me. I don't know if it was known to anybody else at the time. So before I was like, "What the hell?" And then even when people were talking about it afterwards, because every time the person showed up, they would say stuff. But in recent times, I get it, and I actually go to the person's channel and talk to them and stuff because I think that there is like a missing component, and I think BookTube personally is for everybody, no matter, there's all sorts of readers out there and all sorts of personalities. So I try not to judge people based off of that. But I do feel like when people rush folks, because I've seen people even without disabilities or whatever kind of rush people, hey, let's go to Sprint. It's like, you just cut me off while I was talking about stuff. I was about to tell a story. You know, like my crazy antic stories. I always have a crazy story out there. Let me tell my crazy story, then let's go. Story. Anyway,
yeah. I think there is like, and I think that's it. It's like knowing the vibe of the channel. I think some people are a lot more kind of like you said, like routine based and like scheduled. And it's like, okay, we are, you know, we're gonna like, oh, we've been talking for half an hour, so we're just gonna, you know, put a pin in that, and we're gonna do sprints for half an hour, and then we'll get back to chatting. And other people, it's like, you know, go with the flow, loosey goosey, like we're having a fun time, and then okay, we probably should get around to doing some sprints now, maybe. And yeah, I think it's different. I think it's just, you know, learning to read people can sometimes be
right. It's like read a room. That's the most important thing you can do before you read a book. Read the room.
Read a room. Read a person.
Yeah, but you know,
I feel like my kids doing that. It's like, does this look like an amused face? Is this joking time? Do I sound cross? Then don't men. Too fun.
Teach them early.
There you go. Well, that is it. This has been a lovely, fun time. I hope that y'all had a good time with our crazy antics here.
I just want to comment on Nell made a comment earlier saying that she misread exercise. I think she thought it was like exercise, like as in get rid of demons. I thought that was great. I wish I had a most embarrassing getting rid of demons exorcism story, but I don't. I haven't done that.
I'm hoping to do that.
Try and mix some holy water from church next time I'm there.
We'll leave that in books and movies for us, okay? Well, that is it. That's it. Y'all have any other things y'all want to talk about?
I'm sure, but I need to go to bed.
Say it again.
I said sure, always, but I need to go to bed.
What is it for you now?
But I'm always late.
3:30.
Well, you have been a trooper of coming up and staying up with us and actually having some energy. You know, I'd be like drooling on myself. So,
do you know generally what helped? Like, because I managed to get down here. And I turned my phone on, so I'm like, let me just see if I can find the link so I'm ready. And it came up on my phone, Courtney is sprinting. I'm like, great. Put it on. And just you buzzing on there. I'm like, see, this helps. This just helps. I'm feeding off your energy. I always call you. I always liken you to a morning cup of coffee because that is the vibe I get from you. It helps lift me. I'm like, woo, yes, okay, I can do this now.
Yeah, you can. And then you're going to sleep really good after this, too.
It's nothing like seeing your book people. I was having, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or so, I was having just a horrible day at work. Like work's just been horrible. My knees hurt. I work in healthcare, so I'm walking all over the hospital. My knees hurt. It's just been super busy. You know, it's sick season. This is our bread and butter. I was having a horrible day. And I finally had the opportunity to sit down and eat lunch. I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock. And I get there at 7. I do 7 to 7. And I was like, I was hungry. And I was like, well, let me put on my book people. And Kiana was doing, I think, her first sprint here. We're talking about this lovely lady here. Y'all, it made my day. I'm telling you, I got my second win. Because I was like, I got my book people. And for one, it was nice to see her doing her first independent sprint.
Yes.
good of somebody branching into something new. But there was some of my book people in there, the people I like seeing. It's like having my friends. It was just, so I understand how it is. Sometimes it's like some people just kind of perk your day up, you know, and maybe the right place at the right time. But, it makes you feel good. We're part of a community. I enjoy being a part of that, especially when I see people that I see, consistently. Because I'll pop in a lot of people's sprints every once in a while. And it's fine. I love the book community as a whole. I'll pop in. Like when I first got into BookTube and discovered sprints, I felt uncomfortable talking and going into people's sprints. So sometimes I would peek in, but I wouldn't say anything. And eventually I opened my mouth and then, you can't shut me up. But, but I was comfortable popping into people that I don't even know or whatever. So it's nice to recognize some places in the room. And, there's some people that I see more than others. And it's nice that, we kind of get into the same spot, so anyway, it's nice. Okay, y'all have any videos coming out or something you want to talk about? Anybody in the chats have anything y'all want to talk about?
It's all in my head. No, seriously. I always hesitate at putting out anything has not been filmed in the same month that I want to release it. Does that make sense? So I have a video from Christmas, like all of December. I have a tea cake video, but I'm like, Jaleesa, nobody care about no tea cakes, cookies.
If you care about it, then that's all that matters.
You made it. It needs to get out there.
Yeah, but it's giving me granny. Like I had on my gown and all you see is gown and cookies. It looks weird.
But you know what? Some people will be like, yes, I relate to gown and cookies. Thank you.
And cookies, right?
Thank you for putting that there.
Like if it's something you want, I feel like this when it comes to videos, right? It don't matter if you get 0 views or whatever on a video, right? Because that isn't everything. Your channel represents you. So if you feel there's an interest, or if you have an interest in what you want to put out, regardless of what other people think, then you put it out. Because it's the same thing with books. We sit here and we talk about books. You have professionals that review books. You have authors that talk about their books. Many people that are outside the book communities are like, y'all talking about books? Like, what the hell? Like, is that interesting? Yes, it is. I was sitting there listening to Chatty and Jaleesa tell me about a book they just read and what they thought of it. Some people are like, why is that interesting? We understand that. Other people don't. So to me, if it's of interest to you, you're representing your channel as a whole. So if you find it interesting, then so be it. Now, if it's something you don't care about, then don't worry about it. But I wouldn't worry about whether or not other people are interested about it. It's about you. So I think of it that way.
Work into that. You've put work into creating that, and get the, put it out there because you put effort into it. It doesn't matter when you put the effort into it. I've got I've had videos where I filmed a tag video and I didn't put it up till literally 3 months later because I had content that I needed to put out that was more relevant. So I think it's because I was I had a couple of readathons back to back. So I wanted to kind of be relevant within the month of the readathon. So the tag, because it can be released anytime, was shoved further down. Yeah. So when I put the tag out, there were some things I was saying. I was like, oh yeah, and this book that I'm looking forward to reading, I then actually already read it and had reviewed it. But I just put in the description, filmed 3 months ago.
Right. That's what I've been
so if anyone was like, what? They'd see. But I was like, well, I made this. This is coming out. I don't care when. And I also did I never got I felt quite burnt out in July, so I never got round to wrapping up my second or my second part of it, because I do it in 2 parts, and I never got round to doing my stats. But I'm like, it's going to happen, because for me it's almost like my channel is my book diary, and I want these books to still get out there. I mean, and to be honest, if you're interested in hearing about my books, you don't care what month I read them in. That's not really relevant, but the books
about that,
and opinions are relevant. So, so I did my July ones in November, October, November. My July wrap up came out.
Yeah, and everybody has a different filming schedule and stuff like that too. So, I mean, I understand if there's something that you feel like doesn't represent you in the best light. So, if that's something you don't want to put out like that, then
Yeah.
I understand that. Because, like, one of my questions on here that we didn't get to was, do you care about your appearance on camera? Some people don't, some people do, you know. So it just all depends on kind of how you want to represent yourself and put out there and what you feel comfortable. Okay. So, and whether, like with me, I'm more of a person that, you know, like in the time frame I want it to be in, like I wouldn't film, like put out something from December and February. Like I'm more of closer to the time frame, but that's just me because I'm particular about, like, I'm not going to film anything that I'm not putting out because I take forever when it comes to filming and stuff like that. It has to be out closer. But I still have some films, like when I used to do my little short films in nature where I would film nature stuff and then talk about a short book. I have some like 2 years ago that are still in my queue. I didn't realize it. I still got them. I never released them. I don't know. Maybe if I need a video filler, I may put them out. But you know, I think just overall, one thing I've learned is you do you. Because I feel like there's no one formula, one size fit all when it comes to book stuff.
Right.
And I don't like it when people tell other people that they have to do something a certain way. So
Same. Yeah. That's why I think, I don't know if you all remember, in one of my lives, there was a new booktuber that changed her name from like Hannah to something else. And I looked right in the camera. I said, you be, I was like, you be you, don't be nobody else. Because you kind of can tell when somebody's trying to like copy paste somebody else from the book community, and it just comes off weird. It's like, you don't have to study somebody else. Do you?
Yeah.
There's a really good.
Someone else is doing this. It's disingenuous.
There was a really good video that one of my friends put out recently. So Jack from Spread Book Joy put out a video called The Right Way to Do BookTube. And basically it is, the right way to do BookTube is to do it your way. That's the only way you can do it. So it was a really, like, it was kind of her talking about how she had fallen into traps of feeling like, so just basically reflecting on what's not working for her and how she wants to change and like make it work for her, and just talking about that. And I just thought that was a really important like video.
What's the person's name again?
So her name is Jack.
Isn't it J-A-K, right?
Yeah, J-A-C-K. And her channel is Spread Book Joy.
Okay. Yeah, I want to watch that because lately I've seen some videos coming up talking about people wanting to quit BookTube and all of the madness. They want to quit only because they expected it, I guess, to be a jump off of sorts. I don't know. And it's like, no, it's not like that. You come in trying to like chase subscribers and trying to get monetized and what are the other things? Subscriptions. Basically, anything that has to do with fame and money. You're not, I feel like you're not doing it for the right reasons, and you're going to get negative results. So just have fun. And then
also, even if you do get like the 1,000 subscribers and the watch hours to get monetized, do you know how it's small, minuscule amount that is? Like when you do, like how much? I don't know.
Nobody tells us. They just always say the check is not that big. Well, tell me what it is.
Yeah, I would like to know. Yeah, but I looked up in general about like the amount you need. Like apparently, it's not created equal. Like it's in different community, like the beauty community, the book community, the news community. It's different amounts because not all of them are the most popular. Like they don't get equal weight in the amount of sponsorship or whatever that or AdSense revenue, I guess that
makes sense.
That people get because some are more popular than others. So you may get like $1 based on what I saw. You may get $1 or $2 for every like 1,000. Is it views or hours? I can't remember. But I'm just saying that it's not like, unless you have like 30,000 subscribers or whatever crap like that, you're not really getting a significant amount of money. And then, you know, people watching videos and And I don't even know if lives count like as a video with watch hours and stuff too, but I'm just saying it's not some astronomical amount of money. Like those big booktubers probably get more money based off of like how they get sponsored with certain products and things like that. You know, so,
probably Patreon as well.
Yeah, and that too, you know, and a lot of the reason why they get that is because they're big booktubers and they get us little smaller booktubers that join to kind of, I'm not going to say kiss up to them, but they go into that, and a lot of them get into the trap of, oh, well, let me follow this big booktuber, you know. But then you also have those booktubers that come in thinking that they can come up off of smaller booktubers flocking to channels and stuff like that, you know, by shouting them out. I don't know. I've seen so many different strategies of people coming into booktube.
Yeah.
So question with some people whether or not they really care about the books, or are they trying to monetize and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So to each his own. That's not really my business. I enjoy my books and I call it a day.
Yeah.
Right. I just need them to get off my feed. That's it. Go away, because I'm tired of it. I'm like, I don't need to see some person that does travel stuff or does makeup usually, and then all of a sudden they're like, booktube newbie tag. So I decided to join because, you know, I needed to talk to somebody about these books. And it's like, well, how long have you been reading? Because like you went to Book Outlet and bought a whole box of books and was like, this is what's popular.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, girl. But I mean, I feel like people get in where they can fit in, you know, give it a leg up. Because you do have some people that came from other platforms with a subscribership already. And
you can see it. You can see it on the,
you know,
jump. Yeah,
and it just gives them a leg up. And it's unfortunate when you're part of the community and you've been struggling from day one and your subscribership hasn't, like, it was a struggle bus for me, like when I first started, because I was under the impression when I first got on BookTube that, oh, I'm going to put on here, I'm going to put out a video and people will find me. And I realized that was not the case, that you're going to have to work at it. And it took me a while. And I think one of the first people that reached out to me was Chatty. I think that you brought me into MJ's Discord. And
I found you on Vidania's channel. I found you on Vidania was celebrating getting 100 subscribers, and you were congratulating her and saying, oh, you hope to do that soon. I was like, oh, I'm going to check this girl out. And I clicked on you and I loved your vibe. And I was just like, I just recently kind of found MJ and her Discord and just how supportive it was for small booktubers. And I still do it now. Like, I loved your the bootcamp tag where you were like, go and find 3 newbies. And I'm like, great. And I did comment on a few of them. I like pointed them to certain people that I already knew. I was like, well, have you checked out this person? Because I think they read similar things to you. Have you joined this? Because if you're wanting to get more involved in the community, this might be a good place for you. And like, oh, have you seen MJ's book channel for supporting? Because I do think it's like, definitely for me, I just, in those early days, definitely being in that Discord and being able to talk about, how are you finding editing? Like, how's it managing with this? Have you tried this? It was just so helpful to be able to have all those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good to be able to connect with people too, because I feel like you put out these videos and you feel like you're talking on, you know, on deaf ears. I think sprints help. I think it helps elevate you much quicker to be able to find other people and feel like you're part of the community. But not everybody does sprints, and that's fine. You don't necessarily have to do it. But just feeling like you're not talking to yourself is good. And that's where, when you reached out and I found the Discord, and I'm not super active on Discords, believe you me, I got enough trying to just watch people's videos and be on here, but it just allowed me to meet other people and form some connections. So that's why, and I said this in my goals video of why I have a soft spot for especially newer people that have come up, and also people in more minority communities, because I feel like just historically, they don't get the same, I was going to say reach or out, but I don't think that you get the same eyes on it and promotion as maybe other, you know, other folks and underrepresented. So, and I feel like those are the people that tend to kind of disappear the quicker. Like, I've reached out to a lot of people and I'm like, oh, they haven't been active and whatever. So I, you know, every once in a while go out and try to reach out to people that, you know, oh, I see that you're new. Hey, how you doing? And then try to direct them someplace. Now, what you do with that is up to you. Like, there's a Book Tribe created a a Discord for like Black booktube creators.
Oh,
And I
that's
really
cool.
enjoyed that one. So if I find somebody that's just kind of new and don't know where to go, then I'm like, hey, go join this one. Or I refer to MJ's Discord or something. Because even if you're not active in the Discord, it at least gives you a base to try to start meeting other people that are open to meeting other people, and then you can find them there. So it just helps. But still, I feel like no matter what status you're in, I think, or where you come from, I just want people that are part of the community to be active. So if you came with the subscribership and you already had 800 followers and you came into the book community, well, don't just use the book community to grow your channel and you read one book. It's like, be part of the community, and you know,
if they read the book, they maybe just read the synopsis and was like, okay,
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, like when I go to subscribe to a channel, I look at your videos. I'm like, are you really part of the community? Like, I don't want you to have been doing beauty videos and then next thing you know, you post one video about a book, call yourself a booktuber, and then you're still posting about other beauty. You know, I'm just saying, like, I want to form connections and that you're actually being part of this community and not just using it for whatever, you know. So,
Yeah.
Nell posted the videos Christmas decorations from December. Hey, you know what? That might have been from December, but there are still people with Christmas decorations out now. So nothing wrong with that.
Year-round Christmas.
Yeah, put it out.
I'll put them out.
Exactly. Post what you want. Next video is coming out wearing a trees.
It's so Christmas.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, lady. Wow. Yeah, I know. We're way beyond.
We've been saying goodbye for like half an hour.
Chatty needs to go to bed. We're keeping her up.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna say goodbye now. It's been, Denise, it's been so lovely to like meet you in this kind of scenario. I think you're fabulous. I thought you were fabulous from our chats we were having, but it's been so lovely to meet you. Vaguely in the flesh, in as much flesh as we're gonna get across the other side of the world.
Never know.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you're ever in England, come to Brighton.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I thank you so much. It's been hilarious.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for energy. Do some stretching and go to bed.
I think I'll stretch in the morning. I'm just gonna go crash in bed.
Bye. Chatty, lovely. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe and take a look at Miss Chatty. Okay, I already posted the links in the chat thing so y'all can, well, you know, let me just put it right here. Chatty, where's the add button? We're going to be getting out of here soon too. You have anything coming up?
No, nothing scheduled. So, but something's gonna come out just one of these days. Just put your notifications on, subscribe, all that good jazz. Look for me in the what you call them, English. Oh God, what is the word? Comments. Because I've been jumping in people's sprints now. I'm getting used to it. It's taking me some time, but now I kind of know, like, oh, okay, I like coming this person's sprints on certain days. So look for me, say hello, I say hi back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have certain people's sprints that I patronize, like that I know, like especially on the weekends. I know who I sprint with. Well, Saturday, Sunday has changed because the other person stopped sprinting. So. But I don't know. I'm trying not to be inundated with BookTube so much because my husband's been complaining. So, but I have my notifications on for all my favorite folks. I automatically hit notify. So when I come in, even if I wasn't there before, then it pops up. So
right.
I try. I've been missing some stuff lately due to work or whatnot. But, put on those notifications and pop on folks. So.
Mm-hmm. I'll just be here. Look for me. I'll be everywhere.
I'll pop in. I spend a lot of time on BookTube, probably more than any other stuff. Okay, so you said you don't know when your next video is gonna come out. All right. Well, we got that. What's today? Thursday. I have a video on Saturday morning. Could be interesting. May or may not be interesting to you, but it's there. And we're going to wrap up boot camp next month. Oh, next week. Gonna be a good time.
Yes, it's so much fun. Wait, before we leave though, because I feel like I asked this before, but I'm gonna ask again. Are we going to make this like a quarterly thing or like an annual thing, or it's just a one-time thing when it comes to boot camp readathon? Or you haven't thought that far?
Well, my plan is for next year to do this. I really did enjoy this is my second readathon that I myself have made up. And the first one was a Christmas themed one. Probably not going to do that one again. But this one I thoroughly enjoyed. I really did. So I definitely planned. I was thinking if I wanted to do a summer installment, but I think my summer may be busy. So I don't know about that. But definitely next January, I should be planning again and maybe do some other new stuff. So cool. That is my plan. Let's see. We have boot camp sprints still throughout the next week as well, including on Wednesday. As many people as possible that are boot camp hosts, feel free to come on by. Jaleesa, I think you're hosting on Monday at 8 p.m. EST, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep,
so I guess I am coming out with something, y'all. I lied.
There you go.
I'll be there late and up. So you part of the night owl crew, come on down.
There you go. Should be a good time, y'all. Well, thank y'all very much for coming, bearing with us in this chaos. But it was a fun time. We
learned about each other
the first time, but it's been a good time. I enjoyed it. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good day. Be blessed. Stretch. Do all that good stuff and stay warm because it is not nice outside.